It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, welcome in. Welcome into another edition of Rothman and Ice. I'm Matty Ice. Across from me on the board is Cole. CB's somewhere in the house today. I don't know what he's got going on, but Cole's repping his squads. And to my right, I got a former Buckeye wide receiver and a Grey Cup MVP by the name of DeVier Posey.
What's up, Matty Ice?
Yeah. I said, give me a hell yeah.
Depot, welcome back in.
Yeah.
You've been rocking out with us for a few days, all of last week for the most part. And here you are again. What's going on, man? How you feeling today?
I'm doing good. AR, it's all good. They got the scout team in for you. You know, this is the 4th preseason game. I'm getting my reps. What's up, Columbus?
Oh, man, that is hilarious. AR has just been, he's been grinding. You know, he had his golf outing yesterday. Yeah. So I know he's been locked in on that. But, yeah, man, he's gearing up for the season because when we get in here next Monday,
it's go time.
It's absolutely go time, and it's going to be an absolute blur. So we got a nice show lined up for you guys today. 12:33, Jason B. Hirschhorn. He covers the NFL for The Leap. We'll talk to everything about around the league to him. Or with him, I should say, going into the last week of the preseason. 1:33, Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com. And then 2:33, Kyle Glaser, contributing writer for MLB.com, will join us at the bottom of the last hour. Always a quick reminder, if you ever miss anything from our show, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3 will be available for you. And don't forget, subscribe to the old Rothman and Ice podcast as well. I thought about you this morning when I left the house because you and I last week were talking about just kind of the feel and the smell in the air, right?
You felt it this morning?
Oh, my goodness.
You felt you got a long sleeve on?
Yeah, I got the long sleeve tee on. It felt like a week 4, week 5 type of morning to me.
I love it.
Now, I know, listen, next week, Mother Nature's coming back with that heat. We'll go back to the 90s.
It's okay.
But it's creeping up in our rearview mirror.
Yeah.
Just the football air.
Absolutely.
The football weather. And I absolutely loved it because I looked at at my car this morning. It was reading 60 degrees. And I'm like, it's my type of party right here.
Man, so this week, this Monday, I woke up and I just was like, I found myself in the basement working out. Like, I'm doing a Monday workout post-game, right? Like, I'm getting those legs going. I'm getting back cooking. And it's like, it's something about the fall that makes my body just go. Like, I have, like, as a dad, you know, obviously local media radio host, it's tough to find those grind sessions, like those non-negotiables. And Matty Ice, like, this dude is a leader when it comes to that. He gets his workout in. He's eating blueberries every day, big jug of water. But for me, it's a battle just because, you know, I used to do that stuff mainly for money. And that was my incentive. But to live good and to have a healthy lifestyle, it's tough to stay on pace, but it's something about the fall and the winter. It's like my body clock is just so used to getting up and getting it in.
It's what you've done your whole life.
You know what I mean?
It's what you've done your whole life.
Like, it's just
so now you're ready to go. Now you're ready to go.
Yeah.
So, no, excited to have you back in. We got some very interesting news that dropped yesterday after our show that involved our Columbus Blue Jackets. And this, I don't think, is a surprise to any of us, right? Because we knew for a while now that Patrik Laine, he wanted out of Columbus. He asked for a trade back in June, so we knew this was coming. And then we found out yesterday that Patrik Laine was traded to Montreal for a second-round pick, defenseman Jordan Harris. And that's a guy that you can add to your young core and have pair up with a guy like Zach Werenski, hopefully in the future, to provide a nice defense in front of the net. And so I think the part that I'm really excited about is the not retaining any of the salary. I think that's a nice win for Don Woodell and everybody over there for the CBJ. So you know how this works, Depot. When you have a guy that doesn't want to be somewhere, you're never going to get the best out of that guy. And so whether it was due to injury or whether it was some off-the-ice situations, and that you respect, right, when you talk about not only athletes but just people in general when it comes to their mental health, that stuff was thrown out there. This was a guy that no longer wanted to be in the city, and so I absolutely think this was the right move, and I think what they got back in return in the form of a second-round pick and a young guy that could help them in the future, and Jordan Harris, I'm in on this move. And now we can get to a bit of that clean slate vibe for the Jackets and hopefully start to build something positive here in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, since Waddell was hired, this was one of his checklist things is to get Patrik Laine in a great situation. And Waddell, since he's been here, has been on fire, as far as going through the draft process, getting the head coach, making sure the team is right. He also has winning in his background. He knows the right elements to that tough chemistry equation that we call a locker room. And a guy who's mental health battling, obviously he's a leader on the team. He's not happy. That's going to throw off the chemistry in the room. And it's very important when your job is at stake based on wins and losses. You need the right bodies in there. You need the right mindset in there more than anything, Maddie. And I felt like he got it done right before season kicking off.
You mentioned Don Waddell. Here's a quote from him. He says, "We want players that want to be Blue Jackets," and Patrik made it clear that he thought a change of scenery was best for him. We were able to acquire a good young player in Jordan Harris while maintaining financial flexibility in this deal, which was very important to us. We wish Patrik all the best. So Patrik, he spoke to the media, his new media members now over there, and hear his take on his time here in Columbus as a Jacket.
Well, it's been kind of a roller coaster. Obviously, it didn't work out the way that anybody was hoping. Obviously, for me personally and for the team, obviously we wanted to get something out of this, but I feel like for me, I learned so valuable lessons mostly off the ice about myself as a person, and that I can take with me for the rest of my life. But I'm still gonna cherish my time in Columbus. Yeah, it wasn't always easy, but when you look back on it, I still I loved being and living in Columbus. The people are great, people are awesome. The fans are passionate. So there was definitely a lot of good times in Columbus, but that's kind of where I'm at with that.
Let's also hear from him on, could anything have changed his mind and maybe allowed him to stay in Columbus?
Not really. I mean, I kind of knew that even before going into the program, that change of scenery could probably be beneficial, but I don't think at that point any changes that were made really moved the needle at all for me. I just knew as a person that I needed a new start somewhere else, more so as a person than as a hockey player, and that's what I'm more worried about. Me as a person. So obviously there was stuff that happened in Columbus on and off the ice that kind of haunts a little bit, but so just feel like I needed a restart for my life and my career, and now obviously super fortunate to have that in Montreal, so obviously couldn't be happier about it.
It's unfortunate, right? Because this guy was brought in to be a sniper, and it's like you acquire a guy in basketball that you want to be a bucket getter, right? Or you acquire a wide receiver in football that you need to make big plays for you down the field, and that's what he was brought in to do, was light up the net and put a lot of stress on defenses. And you look at his first 2 years over in Winnipeg, and it's 36 goals and 44 goals out of the gate. And the peaks here in Columbus, it was 26 goals followed by a year with 22. So it just never worked here. And now when you turn over to a new page here and you look at a guy like Johnny Gaudreau, who had that same excitement around his acquisition, right? When he decided to come to Columbus, he's a guy that we're waiting to see more than flashes from, right? And so that's just what this franchise needs is, yes, you have the young guys in the system, the Fantillis that everybody's excited about, and the Ken Johnsons and some other, the Lindstroms. And there's a young core of guys here that eventually I believe will pop, but they're going to need some of that veteran leadership. And so for Johnny Gaudreau, you look at the acquisition of Sean Monahan, a guy that he played with for a few years in his past. That's a guy that they brought in, I believe, to help him, and hopefully he can get his game going. But in Sports Depot, when you make these big splashes, or what are perceived to be big splashes, those guys have to hit, and that can really fast-track what has seemed to be, a bit of that rebuilding vibe that Columbus has had. So hopefully now we're done talking about what ifs and guys that didn't work out. And here in the future with a new head coach, new regime up top, we can get this thing headed in the right direction.
Yeah. I mean, a lot that came out and resonated with me with Patrik Laine's interview is, and I don't want to put this, but it was about me and my development, what I need and things like that. And anytime that mindset is in there, and, everybody knows that there's no I in team, and at the end of the day, he's just not in it for the Blue Jackets. Yeah. He's just not about the developmental process of the team. He's not about the rebuild. He's at a place in his career where he's had success. And from a veteran's perspective, I can understand it. You only have so many more moments on the ice. You want to be in a position where you're not rebuilding and starting over. And anytime new GM, new head coach comes in, you know what that process looks like. Mm-hmm. And you know what's going to be asked upon you as, like you were saying, a sniper, big playmaker, that a lot of the success is going to be like, hey, we need it now. And for him, that might be too much. And the stigma about mental health has changed. And it needs to be talked about more, where players might not be able to perform under those pressures and those conditions. And it's okay. And it's okay for a change of scenery to happen. There's no bad blood here, but I get where he's at, and I also like the moves that the Blue Jackets made to clear that space up.
There's clarity, I think, to the vision now of where we're headed. And I know that's been a very murky situation, even going back to last all season with the whole Babcock situation. Mm-hmm. You didn't get off to a good start. Then you have to go into a season, going through some rocky roads there. But now here we are with what seems like it's a clean slate. Patrick, in one of those clips he mentioned the fan base. This fan base, they deserve so much better at this point, right? And I know Don Waddell and everybody in charge is trying to bring that into the mix, but they continue to show up. Nationwide is always rocking. The cannon is booming. It's always a good time over there. So this fan base, we're at a point now to where the team has to show this fan base why they should continue to show up, because the product on the ice has just been way too inconsistent for whatever reason, whether it's coaching, whether it's players not living up to their hype, whether it's injuries, whatever. I just know some Blue Jacket fans have to be fed up with the excuses and want to get to a point to where they can be really proud of what happens out there on the ice night in and night out. So that's the latest. Broke yesterday when we got out of here. Patrik Laine no longer a Columbus Blue Jacket. He is on to Montreal, and hopefully the Blue Jackets will be on to bigger and better things. Coming up, Ryan Day. He joined the Buckeye Roundtable show last night. What's life like for him now that he's given up play calling duties? He'll tell you next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If your idea of the perfect radio show is all Buckeyes all the time, then it's your lucky day, Slappy. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
One thing about us parents, we think we know what's in, but we're usually way off. That's why I take my kids to Great Clips for back-to-school haircuts. From fresh fades to beachy waves, they can use the online lookbook to find the cuts they want at prices I can't resist. Plus, with convenient online check-in, we save tons of time, too. I may never know what's cool again, but hey, with back-to-school haircuts at Great Clips, I don't have to. Download the app today. Great Clips. It's gonna be great.
Hey, it's Anthony here from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Rich is rolling out all of his new Hondas at 2.9% up to 60 months. Just not including the Civic Si and Civic Type R, but all the other awesome new Hondas, 2.9%. You love certified? He has the dream deal. 0.99% APR for 36 months on the 23s and 24s, Civics, HRVs, CRVs, Pilots, and Passports. When you think Honda, you have to visit Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and this month 0% financing is backed by popular demand on the 2024 Toyota Tundra for 48 months. But hurry in before they're gone. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for details. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky with approved credit, tax title, and $250 doc fee not included. Offer ends August 30th.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman for the Bath Authority. It's time to make your bath and shower something you really love. Something so great, your singing in the shower comes from a genuine place of happiness. Don't keep staring at that outdated bath, the mold, the mildew, the broken tiles. Every unit from the Bath Authority is custom built. You choose the premium accents and accessories. Right now, get free installation on your new bath or shower, plus 36 months of 0% interest. Visit thebathauthority.com. That's thebathauthority.com. A better bath awaits.
Much like a vampire, we need to be invited into your house. But once we're in, we never leave. Listen to The Fan on your Alexa or Google Home smart speaker. Just say play 97.1 The Fan and prepare to be amazed. Do it now.
Are you ready to turn your passion for media into a career? Ohio Media School is the place for you. With hands-on training in radio, television, sports broadcasting, and digital media, you'll gain the skills and experience you need to succeed. Don't wait. Classes are starting soon. Visit beonair.com and take the free assessment to get started. Enroll today and take the first step towards your dream career. Ohio Media School. Your future in media starts here. Visit beonair.com. beonair.com. Enroll now.
That's the sound of a Mountain Dew. And that's you enjoying its refreshing citrus kick. That's a cool breeze suddenly whistling through your hair.
Whoa!
That's you realizing you're now on a mountain.
This is epic!
That's you stating the obvious. That's you stepping up to the plate. That's you winning your kickball game.
Yeah, let's go!
That's you taking another sip of your Do the Do.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
The Ohio Chapter International Society of Arboriculture's mission is committed to advancing responsible tree care practices. They remind herbicide and pesticide users to always read and follow the product label. The label is the law, so take the time to know how it should be used and how to use it safely. To find out more, there are over 1,000 qualified arborists in Ohio. Visit www.treesforohio.org to find an arborist near you. That's www.treesforohio.org.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are looking pretty good out there. We've got a lot of sunshine. We're going to be slowly warming things up with highs today hitting the 70s. Columbus topping out at 73 degrees. Tonight, we're once again cooling down back to the 40s and 50s before we see another day of 70 degrees as we head into your Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your weather impact forecast on The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
Welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVier Posey, the former Buckeye wide receiver in the house today, filling in for AR. Bottom of the hour, Jason B. Hirschhorn covers the NFL for the league. We'll chop it up with him about everything happening around the league. I got an assignment for you. And you got 4 years to get ready. Because we got the Olympics coming to our soil in 2028 out in L.A.
You need me to be a star wide receiver on the flag football team?
I need it. Oh, man. I need you to start getting ready because NFL Executive Vice President Jeff Miller, he told reporters Monday that the NFL and the Players Association, they're engaging in ongoing discussions about the best way to approach an endeavor of allowing NFL players to play in flag football next year. And you already had, or in 2028, you've already had guys like Joe Burrow, Tyreek Hill, Mahomes, Jalen Hurts. These guys want to play in this. I need you to get on this roster.
Man, I don't know if I got to go against those guys. I was hoping it was like, I was going against the rec league flag all-stars, not all pro all-stars.
Oh, man, the best of the best want to do this.
Well, then also, I was thinking USFL, XFL, CFL guys, will they have an opportunity to try out? And what's crazy is, what if somebody just has an impeccable flag football skill set?
You talking about just like an average Joe?
His flags are ungettable. It's all about lowering the hips, rotating the hips. Tyreek might not have that. He might just be like, you got to tackle me. Mm-hmm. But his flag might be easy to grab. Mm-hmm. You don't know.
I have no idea. But listen, I just wanted to bring that up, Depot. If you're interested, it looks like, some former NFL guys, some NFL guys,
mm-hmm.
you're going to have an opportunity to get busy out there in front of the world, maybe bring the fan a gold medal.
Well, that's my plan. That's plan B. Because, bottom line, I want to make it to, like, this handball team. I want to start on this handball team because that's a sport I could play in my sleep.
So you want to do handball, huh?
That would be so nice. Okay. So nice at the handball.
Okay.
Because it's just like, taking off from outside the arc,
mm-hmm.
throwing that in there.
Mm-hmm.
That could be me. I'm left-handed.
Do they play both ends of the floor? Do you have to play both? Because I didn't watch enough of it.
You got to play defense.
So you got to play defense, too.
And it's a bit physical.
I thought I saw some dudes getting hit in the face, too.
I'm about that.
Oh, you take a broken nose for the country, huh? Whatever it takes.
I'm a proud American, man.
I'm excited, though. I do want to get out to L.A., though.
Yes.
Just to feel what an Olympics would be like. Just the juice around it.
We're going.
Sounds like, and I'm going to be out there rooting you on, man.
Are we doing a fan out there?
Maybe we can put it in motion. Let's put it in the atmosphere now.
Let's go.
We'll take the fan out there for the Olympics, man. So, Buckeye football, it's here next Saturday. I know week 0 starts this week. Not a lot of excitement about the game this week. I get that. But next week, man, the schedule is going to be absolutely loaded. You got a primetime game, I believe, at 7:30. That's Notre Dame and Texas A&M. And is LSU taking on somebody Sunday night? I want to say off the top of my head.
I don't think that's
primetime game next Sunday.
It's next Sunday, yeah.
Is it LSU and USC?
It's LSU.
Yeah, LSU, USC. So you'll get
Las Vegas.
In Vegas, right? Thank you. So you'll have that game Sunday night, and then you'll have Saturday night primetime slot. Notre Dame taking on Texas A&M. But for the Buckeyes, we know it starts with the Akron Zips, and this should be a heck of a year. I mean, just the anticipation around this roster, this coaching staff, just everything wrapped around Ohio State right now is coming in the form of excitement. But for Coach Day, not only did he make some tweaks to his roster, but he also made some tweaks to his coaching staff. And one of those is bringing in Chip Kelly. And Chip Kelly is a guy that we know has a great history on the offensive side of the ball, but Coach Day looks like he's going to be giving up some play calling duties. He was on Buckeye Roundtable last night, and here he is talking about that transition.
It's been great to see some of the ideas that Chip's brought to the table, and obviously with his background of what he's done. And we haven't been together now for almost 8 years, and so he's done some things differently, and we've done some things differently. So it's been good to collaborate. He's always done an unbelievable job of calling plays and getting the plays in. And he is embracing our language, so it is a new language. And so, we're going to be there together talking it over. But a big part of the game plan is really, putting the game plan together as a group. And then, once it's on the call sheet, all that work has been done to install it. Then it's a matter of executing it on the field. So we'll be very organized with that and try to do a great job of communicating. But it's been great to see some of his ideas come in. And when you've been together with a group of guys for as long as we have on offense, everyone kind of sees it the same way. A different perspective and a fresh outlook is always healthy.
Depot, when my mind goes to the Chip Kelly and Coach Day scenario, the first word that pops into my brain is trust. Mm-hmm. Because I have to imagine if you're Coach Day and you've been an offensive guy your entire football career, obviously he knows the game very, very well in every aspect, but specifically his moneymaker is offense. But when I heard him talk about Chip Kelly at Big Ten Media Days, and you continue to hear him talk about Chip, and now him being in the mix here as the offensive coordinator, the first word that comes to my mind is trust, and it feels like Coach Day has a high level of trust in Chip Kelly and what he's going to be able to do on game day starting next Saturday when it comes to having this offense play at a very high level.
Yeah, man. And in my excitement of having Chip Kelly on staff, did I not think about the language, like how the play is called? Did I not think about Chip bringing his own system, but more importantly, being hired for the specific job of keeping the team on schedule, picking the right play at down and distance. And what from that interview, what it sounds like that Ryan Day is giving up, like he's in on the prep, like he's gonna draw up the double moves, he's gonna draw up the personnels, he's gonna be involved in the preparation process, the scouting, finding holes in defenses. Yeah. But when it comes to I'm gonna press A or B for all my Madden guys, or I'm going to pick this play for this time, that's Chip. And it seems as though Chip knows that's his role, and he's embracing it. And when you have those clear understandings of who presses play on what and when, I'm pretty sure Day is going to want to see certain plays that he put in, or he's going to want to attack certain personnels and certain situations and formations. But to have someone just picking those plays for the right time in that being what Chip does best, it's a great situation for both guys.
Completely agree.
It's a great situation.
It's a great, well said by you. And so that's something I'm just not concerned about, right? You look at certainly even like a program right now like Penn State, and they're bringing in, a new offensive coordinator and Koltonicki and trying to get that thing rolling. James Franklin and Andy Koltonicki coming from Kansas, they don't have that same chemistry that Coach Day and Coach Kelly have. So I think here in Columbus, those guys have a better chance of hitting the ground running than, an example like Penn State. And that's not to say Penn State won't be able to do it. I just think it can make it easier out of the gate. We talk so much about the expanded playoff coming this year, but some other tweaks that have happened to the sport is helmet communication. Helmet communication and what that's going to mean for, a one defender on defense with the green dot, and then obviously the quarterback, which will be Will Howard on offense. And Coach Day on Roundtable last night talked about how the helmet communication has worked at some of these scrimmages, specifically this past Saturday.
There was two parts. There was the tablets on the sideline, which are pretty straightforward. Each series we're able to go over and watch the previous series on a tablet, which actually was, again, pretty straightforward. The player-to-coach communication is a little bit different. There's a lot that goes with that. It turns off at 15 seconds. So, depending on the tempo of where we're going, we have to communicate, what we're doing either through signals or through, the helmet communication. So I'm glad we got a test run at that. We'll do that again on this Saturday.
Helmet communication, tablets on the sideline, and now Depot, we're getting a 2-minute warning, both in the first half and in the second half, which is, I think, great. With 2 minutes remaining in both the first and the second half, the games will take an automatic timeout. Sounds like the NFL to me.
Those are that's for the media. But those 2-minute timeouts, man, in the league is something that you can actually get a free timeout. You don't need to burn a timeout at the end of the half. Like before you go on the 2 minute, you get to go over your top 20. You get to, connect with the quarterback, connect with the playmakers, the 5 eligibles, talk about those things. The 2-minute warning is a good thing. It's actually an extra timeout for the team that you don't have to burn. And then also just the helmet communication, Maddie. It's a unique thing, and you wonder if it will speed up the pace. Like some teams that went fast last year, Maryland was a very fast team. They were getting plays out in under, 20 seconds. They're already at the line. Oregon has traditionally been a fast offense, and guys, and obviously Chip kind of brought that to college football. And so how can you implement the helmet communication for your benefit? As soon as the play is over, I don't expect Will Howard to be celebrating as much. Like you will be, like normally we see emotional college quarterbacks. Just bottom line, like you get that. In the pros, guys are already, keep covering up their ear.
We're on to the next one.
They're already on their Mission Impossible communication, on to the next one. And so if you're in fast offense, if you're in 2-minute, I'm interested to see the quarterback's behavior in between plays and communicating certain signs.
It'll be interesting to see. That's for sure.
It'll be awesome.
Can't wait to see it. Coming up next, Jason B. Hirschhorn covers the NFL for the Leap. We'll get his take on all the hottest storylines floating around the NFL. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Common Man here for Care Heating and Cooling. Weather is unpredictable, but the inside of your home should be comfortable just the way you like it. And the best way to avoid those unnecessary surprises is with a care plan. See, with a care plan, you get priority service, system maintenance in case of an emergency. Just another way to give you and your family peace of mind. And maintaining your systems properly can help save you money. A properly maintained furnace and air conditioner run more efficiently, reducing your utility usage, regular maintenance also prevents breakdowns and extends the life of your equipment. I'm on the Care plan, and I'm quite the expert. I'll stop by and give your system a once-over. I will. Don't tempt me. I end every commercial the same way, telling you to hire Care when you need a company you can trust. It's not just the slogan. That's the Care creed. How about this? Lennox. They have thousands of dealers nationwide. HVAC royalty. Last year, Lennox gave Care their coveted Partner of the Year award because they're trusted by their customers and their partners. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING or book an appointment online at careheatingandcooling.com when you need a company you can trust.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to columbusmensclinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. columbusmensclinic.com. Book your appointment now.
Bishop and Friends.
Ohio Stadium is the best, period. You're there early. You're there at halftime. Even for the marginal games, you're there.
Bishop and Friends.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. You've heard their name on the radio. You've seen them on TV and possibly have heard about them from a family member or friend. One question always arises. What makes Newman Roofing different from the thousands of other roofing companies out there? Well, the answer is simple. It's a company built around family. With 3 generations of family in the roofing industry, the Newman family has built a reputation on honesty, transparency, and consistency. Family members holding key positions from the office sales to production teams, they strive every day to ensure each customer receives excellent experience and a quality product. And I should know they did my roof and their family did a great job. The Newman family drive to take care of their customers radiates throughout their team. Each team member takes pride in the work that they do. As the Newmans say, when your name is on it, it just means more. If you're in need of a roof repair or replacement, call the company that is built around family. Newman Roofing, 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
This year, Dell Technologies Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Always as tender as a well-done steak. This is Rothman and Ice.
We do medium steaks now. No more well-done steaks. Welcome back in. Matty has got the former Buckeye wide receiver DeVier Posey in the house right now. I'm going to use the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Bring on our guy, Jason B. Hirschhorn. Does a great job of covering the NFL and the Packers for the Leap newsletter. Jason, what's going on, man? How are you?
How's it going, gentlemen?
Good. Doing very, very well. Let's start with the Packers because I know there's been a lot of conversation, especially for us fantasy football players, Jason. When you look at that Packer wide receiver core, it can get a little dicey. Who's going to be the guy? Is it Watson? Is it Dobbs? Is it Reed? How has training camp been going? What do you think we're looking at this year as far as the pass catchers around Jordan Love. Will there be a clear-cut number one, or do you think we're looking at more of a balanced passing attack?
I don't think it's going to be the case that by the end of the year there isn't a defined hierarchy, but they're going to enter the season with that ambiguity. During training camp, we have seen Christian Watson, Romeo Doubs, and Dontavian Wicks basically all take turns as that dominant outside, primarily receiver. And all those guys are probably going to get chances to be that player during the early regular season. Now, Jaden Reed, who does play outside, does play in the slot, he actually has the most defined role at this point. So if you're a fantasy manager, he actually might be the one that makes the most sense, because even if he's not the most likely to be like a dominant X receiver, it's not really what his role is in that offense. He is the guy who's probably going to be on the field the most, health permitting, because of all the different things that we know he's going to do. So it's a little bit confusing now, but I think maybe by mid-October or November, there's going to be some clarity at that position.
Absolutely. JBH, I wanted to ask you about this defense, right? It doesn't really have star-studded players outside of guys like Jair Alexander's that, most people would recognize, but it's one of the most solid defenses around the league, and they have kept this team in games and obviously keeping Jordan Love, on the field. What are some bright spots that you're looking at this year as far as growth and maturity with this young group? And how do you think they'll fare in the NFC North?
So they've reconstructed a big part of that secondary. Basically, all the meaningful safeties this year will be different than the ones the last few years. They brought in Xavier McKinney. He's going to be not strictly that deep post safety, but he's going to do a lot of that. They drafted Javon Bullard in the second round. They also traded up to draft Evan Williams in the third. They bring back a seventh-round pick from last year who played a little bit but not a lot, and Anthony Johnson Jr. Those are the names to know. Because of how well they have looked, it's not a guarantee that it's going to perform better than it did in recent years, but there's reason to believe that it's going to perform meaningfully better over the course of the season. And that has been a huge issue for them. They were in the past a defense designed to take away those big explosive plays, and yet we're not able to do so. They're going to actually take a different approach under new defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley, and it's going to put actually more pressure on those defensive backs to play well. And it seems like at least they have the talent to do so. There are a lot of questions in that defense. I think linebacker in particular remains a big question, because while they have players with talent, very few of those guys either have a proven track record or even see much practice time during training camp because of injuries. And that's something that we're going to have to see play out over the course of the season. But for now, I think the improvements in that secondary can give you reason for hope that the unit is going to perform better than it has in the past.
We're talking all things NFL with Jason B. Hirschhorn from the Leap newsletter. Jason, let's stay in the NFC North and let's get your vibe, a vibe check on the Chicago Bears and what you thought of Caleb Williams through a couple preseason games. Obviously, we don't know a ton about teams right now just based off it being the preseason, but what are your thoughts on how the number one overall pick in the draft has looked and the weaponry around him so far?
He passes the eye test so far. You're never going to get proof of concept of any quarterback through 2 preseason games, which is what Caleb Williams has had so far. However, he has shown the things that you expected him to do coming out of USC. He's able to not just move the pocket and play well on the run, but he's able to throw really well off platform. His best plays as a passer have been throws off platform. That's going to be a big thing for the Bears, because that offensive line still looks like a work in progress. So he's going to have to do a lot of things outside the strict structure of that offense in order to keep the ball moving. So those things are positive, even if we can't say definitively right now what kind of quarterback he's going to be. The Bears in general, though, they made a lot of improvements over the course of the 2023 season on defense. They have added to that unit. I still think there are meaningful holes there, but if you're looking for a positive direction, it is there. I don't think that that's a team that's likely to compete for that division crown or even a wild card spot, but it is a team I could see being very frisky down the back half of the schedule. It's a scenario where Caleb Williams could be really coming into his own. He certainly has the talent and the receiving core to do that. The defense is able to hold its water, and they get enough out of the rest of that team to be competitive during the last 8 or so games of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to stay in the NFC North. does the division go through Lambeau Field or Ford Field? I mean, I'm just looking at all things pointing, and I just love the performance that I saw from Jordan Love and the Packers in Dallas on the road. And I think that's something you can build on. But obviously, Detroit has high expectations for themselves. And then what we have with Chicago, and then could the Sam Darnold show really get rolling up in Minnesota? It's a division to me that is very intriguing this year. I think, the NFC champ comes out of that division. I just want to know what your thoughts are.
I don't have a ton of faith in the Minnesota Vikings and Sam Darnold. I'm going to have to see it to believe it first. However, the Lions and the Packers do have credible claims to being the best team in that division. And to a certain degree, it comes down to who do you have more faith in? Jordan Love and that offense, or Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator for the Lions, and that offense? If you're going to lean toward the quarterback, the Packers have the best quarterback in the division, at least among the obvious contenders. Whereas the Lions have a guy who probably should be a head coach right now. It is not anything short of a minor miracle that Ben Johnson decided to stay in Detroit for another year. If you removed him from that situation, I don't think the offense would have fallen apart, but I do think it would have lost a lot of the edges that it had over the last 2 years. Because he is back, I want to give them the slight edge. Obviously, they are the reigning division champions. I have some concerns about that defense, although that also applies to the Packers as well, so that's not necessarily a deciding factor either way. But if that offense in Detroit is as good as it's been the last about year and a half, they're going to be very hard to beat, not just for the other teams in that division, but they may be the best team, not the name the San Francisco 49ers, in that conference. That is how good they can play at their apex.
Jason, we'll get you out of here on this one. I want to get your opinion on the Philadelphia Eagles and what you think we see from them this year. I'm sure you're well aware of the stories that have come out about Sirianni and Jalen Hurts and, the potential of those guys not being on the same page right now. But the addition of Saquon Barkley with the talent that they have, I know there's been some other, changes as well to that coaching staff. But do you still view Philadelphia right now as one of the elites around the NFC?
Because it's the NFC, the answer is probably yes. That says more about the quality of the conference than it does about the Eagles. I know there's been a lot of credible reporting about the relationship between Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. And I'm not saying that doesn't matter, but that's not my biggest concern with that team. It is very uncommon that you see a team replace both offensive defensive coordinators when those coaches were not moved to head coaching positions elsewhere and see that team have success. It is not just that these are new guys. These are going to be new systems, especially in offense. I don't know what a Jalen Hurts offense looks like when it's running the Kalen Moore playbook. That's just not really an obvious match on paper. A lot of the run game things, the static things that worked really well for the Eagles the past 2.5 years, that's not really a big thing in Moore's playbook. So is he adjusting to them, or are they going to have to adjust to him? I could see that being a very awkwardly run offense for the first month and change of the season because of all those adjustments. And if that's the case, they may be behind the eight ball. Doesn't mean they can't get to the playoffs, but they play in a division with the Dallas Cowboys, who, despite all their problems, still have a lot of talent. I just don't know that it's going to bode super well for them this year, given all of those changes they have to account for.
Yeah, no doubt. Wouldn't be surprised if that's the case either. Jason B. Hirschhorn does a great job of covering the NFL and the Packers for the Leap newsletter. Jason, we always appreciate your time. Have a great day.
All right, take care, guys.
Thanks. Jason was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Coming up, the Steelers, they're doing everything they can to try and acquire Brandon Aiyuk. We'll hit you with the latest next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan.
Wendy's new Saucy Nugs come in 7 saucy flavors. Yep, you can literally hear your taste buds going. Taste bud sounds may vary. For a whole new way to nug, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
At participating U.S. Wendy's, hours may vary by location.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. If you need a new roof, but you're not sure you can afford it, no problem. Right now, Able Roof is offering no payments, no interest until 2026 for qualified buyers. Yep, that's the same Able Roof that's been voted the #1 roofing company in Columbus by Consumer Choice Awards 22 years in a row. Want more? Able Roof will give you up to $1,000 off a new roof, siding, or windows. This is a limited time offer, so call Able Roof today.
Call Able for the proof. 444 Roof.
Picture this, the perfect summer barbecue. No stress, no responsibilities, just all your friends, burgers and hot dogs on the grill, and a delicious, refreshing Pepsi Zero Sugar in your hand. Sounds nice, doesn't it? Burgers sizzling, hot dogs cooking, Pepsi Zero Sugar fizzing, and a backyard of very, very happy people. Oh yeah, we could get used to this. Very, very used to this. Pepsi, the official beverage of Grills Night Out.
Bo Bishop here. High Bank Distillery Co. is the most awarded distillery in America at the 2024 San Francisco World Spirits Competition. Stop by your local liquor store to grab a bottle, or their 2 restaurant locations in Gahanna and Grandview. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for over 30,000 mouth-watering choices with savings beyond low prices, like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. More savings and more inspiring flavors make Kroger worth it every time. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Right now, USDA Choice Boneless Beef Chuck Roast is on sale for only $4.99 a pound with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Common Man and T-Bone are known for many things. And while great radio ain't one of them, shoving food down their gullets is their specialty. Join Man and Bone for Fat Boy Food Tip.
Live at 3 or on the podcast.
Your home for fat. The Fan.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
Right now at the Ram, make this the summer event. Well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab, 4x4 for $549 a month for 42 months, with $3,640 due at signing. Tax, title, license extra, no security deposit required. Call 1-877-RAM-5722 for details. Requires dealer contribution and lease through Stellantis Financial. Extra charge for miles over 35,000. Not all customers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by September 3rd, 2024.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text EQUAL to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text EQUAL to 321-321. That's EQUAL to 321-321.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. True to his name, Matty Ice wears a winter coat in the middle of summer. He lives the gimmick, man. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Oh, that you are. Welcome back in. Happy you can join us. Matty Ice, DeVier Posey, the former Buckeye wide receiver and Grey Cup MVP, filling in for AR. So we're still waiting on news when it comes to Brandon Aiyuk.
Absolutely.
Something has to happen sooner rather than later, I would think, whether it's the Niners re-upping with Brandon Aiyuk or Brandon Aiyuk being flipped to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So Jerry Dulac, he is a Pittsburgh Steelers beat writer, does, I think, some TV and maybe radio out there as well. He joined Rich Eisen on the Rich Eisen Show. In the latest is that the Steelers, and here's a quote from Jerry, the Steelers, I was told, were not going to offer any players in the trade. They were going to offer draft picks, a number 2, and then something else. I guess they are just kind of waiting to see what the 49ers decide to do. I want to ask you this, Depot. If you are San Francisco, would that be a deal you would do? Would you be willing to flip Brandon Aiyuk to Pittsburgh for a second-round pick and some other draft capital without any player coming back to the Bay?
Oh, man. I mean, the 49ers are definitely rich in talent, but at the same time, it is business, right? And you need to get value out of a player that I believe could be a pillar in your wide receiver room for the next 5 years. I think parting ways with Brandon Aiyuk for next to nothing or just a draft pick is it's a scary idea for me because I like his production as a wide receiver overall, his health, his durability, just probably about 3 levels above Debo. And here's why. Yes, Debo is a great player with the ball in his hand, but like I know, that play style has a time limit on it. And the way that Brandon Aiyuk plays, it's more the traditional receiver style. He's made big plays for you these last couple runs to the NFC Championship and to the Super Bowl as a young player on a rookie contract. I just think you build around a guy like that. And it's hard for me to say, hey, let's just send him for some futures.
I'm with you because you mentioned Deebo Samuel and coming out of the draft, and I think you and I have talked about this maybe off the airs, my mind went to when they drafted Ricky Pearsall from Florida, that's their Deebo Samuel replacement. Because I thought that you can put him in a similar role. Not that he would bring the same physicality, but I like Ricky Pearsall's game as a guy that you can move around in offense and move him into different positions. Brandon Aiyuk is your traditional, hey, I can be outside. I can run every route on the route tree, your number one possession type of receiver. So if I'm San Francisco, I don't want to do this deal. I don't. Because I think Brandon Aiyuk gives us more runway as a franchise with the potential of having CMC, Aiyuk, and Purdy maybe as your core for the next couple of years. Not to say Kittle and Debo are going anywhere, but those guys are up there in age. And so Albert Breer from Sports Illustrated, he also reported that the Steelers offered Brandon Aiyuk a contract with a number under $28 million, which is why this really hasn't happened. Because remember, this is a two-way street going on here because Aiyuk has to agree to a contract, and the San Francisco 49ers have to be on board with what they get back in return. And so if I'm Pittsburgh, I completely understand their perspective on this, not wanting to give up what I am assuming San Francisco would ask for, which is one of Pickens or Freiermuth with some draft capital coming back as well. Pittsburgh, no, that's not what you want. You want to have that as your big 3, let's say, pass catchers for the future, is Pickens, Freiermuth, and Aiyuk, because I think, man, Aiyuk, he was tremendous last year. The dude was cooking last year with a lot of mouths to feed. I mean, you're talking, he was 35th, 36th in targets around the NFL last year and finished 7th in the league in receiving yards.
And not even just to mention the rapport with Brock Purdy, who's up next. Right. Brock Purdy trusts Brandon Aiyuk. He waits for him to get open. He throws him great passes. They have a great rapport. And when you have that in place, one rapport that help you get to the Super Bowl along with Kittle, along with McCaffrey, those guys, and we talk about this, it's tough to plan for the future when you don't cash out on young players. And when I mean by cash out, winning Super Bowls. But you have to find, what is a connection that can be there for the next 5. Where are the Julian Edelman, Tom Brady relationships? Where are the Jerry Rice, Joe Montana relationships? Where's the Dak and Dez? Where's the Dak and CeeDee Lamb relationships to build on? And I think with Debo's health concerns, his big price tag, Brandon Aiyuk is that relationship that you want to take into the future with Brock Purdy.
It's definitely an interesting case study around the NFL right now because you have a couple teams that have gone all in on paying a couple wide receivers top dollar and their quarterback at the same time. Miami, Philadelphia, they're both doing it. Waddle and Hill in Miami with Tua just got a new bag. And then the Philly, we know Jalen Hurts, he's making good money. And so is Devonta Smith and A.J. Brown. And that's not to say it's not going to work out for you. It just could make you thin elsewhere on your roster. So you bring up Brock Purdy, and it's a good point because that is what's hovering over them, is that this guy that's ready to cash in, that you drafted him as Mr. Irrelevant out of Iowa State, and that's been one of the biggest steals in NFL history to this point in his career. Now, he's got a long way to go, but if he continues to play at this high level and get MVP votes, like he did last year, this is a guy that you're going to have to pay at minimum $50 million. And so when you put together a roster the way that San Francisco has put together, it's a bittersweet thing because you brought up Debo. We talked about Aiyuk. I mean, what's really lurking in the weeds, it could be a massive issue for them in their offense, is that their premier left tackle, Trent Williams, has been holding out this whole time too. And he's a guy in his mid-30s that wants a new contract. And he's one of the best offensive linemen in the entire sport. So
in the last decade.
In the last decade.
Yeah.
So it's always great to have great rosters, but sometimes that check is going to come due, and it can cause issues for your franchise. And that's where San Francisco is right now.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, I don't want to be the one-up guy, but, Maddie, this situation is important. But what's not more important than anything for me, and you got on that orange shirt, you know where I'm going. I'm going down 71 South.
Who they?
To Paycor Stadium. This guy, Jamar Chase, is really entering red zone area to where Adam Schefter interviewed Chad Johnson recently. And
we played it yesterday on the show, yeah.
And I didn't get to touch on
right?
That. Yeah, like, I don't think he's playing. Chad said, I don't think he's going to play without new money. And that situation for Joe B and that team is even more alarming than Brandon Aiyuk to me. You know, that's just me personally.
Well, because you take away Jamar Chase from Cincinnati, that's a good team. They're not a great team.
Yep.
I think if you take away Brandon Aiyuk from San Francisco, to me, they still have a chance to be a great team with the weaponry that they would still have in the mix. So, yeah, Chad Johnson, he did say, though, he thinks the deal's going to get done this week.
They got to get it done.
But he did follow it up with what you said, and that if there's not a deal done by week 1 against New England, he said Uno's not playing.
So what's so interesting is, you know, we follow all these Instagram accounts, and I was just wondering if Jamar Chase is in shape. I saw him with gold feet on Instagram. He posted a workout yesterday.
How's he looking?
He's looking sharp. He looking like $100 million.
And Joey B's going to go show Mike Brown that video. Like, get this man in here, please.
Get him up here now.
Coming up next, another Big Ten team. They've named their starting quarterback for the 2024 season. We'll tell you who that is and update you on some of the other teams that are still working through their quarterback competitions. That's next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination. Get an Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You seem pretty happy this morning. I invented a song. You know songwriters have an actual word for inventing a song. Everything we want people to know about eco. Ready? Can't wait. Get eco. G-E-T-E-C-O. Get eco. They can really go. Get eco. For your Cinco. Fix in a blinko. You'll think-o. Hooray. Get eco. G-E-T-E-C-O. Get eco. You'll be cool like snow. Get eco. Like a nice Ringo. Puerto Rico. Get eco today. What do you think? You know we don't serve Puerto Rico, right? I do know that. I mean, the drive alone from Ohio is like, geez. Way too far. But you ran out of rhymes for eco? You gotta admit, the rest is pretty catchy. Oh, it's earworming already.
Get an Eco.
As is that thing.
Hey guys, Chaps here with a new opportunity for you, the 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends, cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50-plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the last few weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather. But the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But Chopper, summer's almost over. That's the point, guys. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing 60 pounds. Then that propelled me to lose another 35. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. Mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping your first 20, then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said groove. You'll be saying it too just a few weeks from now. 20 pounds summer slim down with the solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
Martha was ready to switch to a career in IT.
There's always a need for IT specialists, especially with AI coming out and cybersecurity. It's practically recession-proof.
My Computer Career even provides job placement help.
The career specialists, they're very helpful. They care about you as a person. You're not just a number to them. I would recommend My Computer Career wholeheartedly to anyone.
Take the free career evaluation today. Become an IT pro in just months with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
Something amazing is happening in networking. Organizations are scaling with less stress. That's because CDW is designing and implementing intelligent HPE Aruba networking solutions that simplify and secure operations. With automation at the center of your data center, growing pains can be a thing of the past. HPE Aruba Networking and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/Aruba.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. Just 11 days away from the Buckeyes opening their season against Akron. Ryan Day was on the season kickoff show last night, and he talked about giving up play calling.
It's been great to see some of the ideas that Chip brought to the table, and so, he's done some things differently, and we've done some things differently. So it's been good to collaborate, but a big part of the game plan is really, putting the game plan together as a group, and then it's a matter of executing it on the field.
After an off day yesterday, the Guardians start a series in the Bronx against the Yankees at 7:05 tonight. Matthew Boyd gets the start for Cleveland opposite Luis Gil. The Reds continue their series north of the border against the Blue Jays. Carson Spires versus Jose Barrios, the pitching matchup. First pitch set for 7:07. This one brought to you by The Waterworks. Trust the pros at The Waterworks for all your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Visit thewaterworks.com today to get started.
Dog friendly. And if you ain't down with that, this is Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in, Matty Ice. Got my guy DeVier Posey, Depot in the building today, filling in for AR. Hope you guys are having a nice start to your Tuesday, bottom of the hour. Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com. He'll hop on to talk all things college football as week 0 has arrived. Depot, I wanted to throw this at you because I just saw this in the last couple of minutes. Just the whole NIL world is just crazy. It's absolutely insane where we are with college football and, some of the reports of how much money like Ohio State has spent and these other programs have spent to acquire talent, to retain talent. It's the game you have to play. And I saw this during the break, and Oklahoma State, I think, has something pretty cool going on because apparently for their players this year, on the back of their helmets, there's going to be a QR code linking to the, quote, general team fund for student athletes during the 2024 season, the program announced a few moments ago. I think this is a pretty good idea. Now, you got to be playing well. You got to have your fans happy watching these games on TV because if you're just getting a whole bunch of 3 and outs as an offense, the bank account's going to get a little light. But if Ollie Gordon and that offense are rolling and somebody, is drinking those White Claws, because I like to say, ain't no laws when you off them claws.
I've never heard that one.
Somebody's going to hit that QR code on the back of the helmet. And I think this is a creative idea by a program right here. They're going to have the QR code available for you throughout games. And if you want to contribute to the NIL fund, you can do it from your couch.
Yeah. My thing is, it takes a moment of stillness to get that QR code to pop up on that game.
It can be tough.
It can be tough when that QR code isn't reading. I wonder if that's an issue. Obviously, you know what I would do? Even better than that, like every play, how they, Chip Kelly has the play signs. I would just have somebody standing next to the head coach with a QR code just like this, just like the dude outside of the Cricket cell phone store, just like, here it is. I think that would be more effective than.
You're right. It's not a bad idea. They might be listening over there. I won't be surprised if that pops up because how they had like the big play card with like all the different graphics. It'll be like Denzel Washington, a hot dog, somebody from a movie.
Somebody's behind the head coach because the screen is going to show the head coach
all the time.
All the time. His job is to follow the head coach with a QR code sign held above his head.
I love that idea.
Man, hey, listen, man. My marketing ideas, I do charge for those, but the things I give out on the radio, this hidden code is in the bars, like Jay-Z says. It's in the bars.
What did Jay-Z say? I'm not a businessman.
I'm a businessman.
I'm a businessman. There you go. I got to ask you this too, because I asked Tyvis, I haven't asked you this, because since we're talking about NIL, one of the most fascinating NIL deals for me is the private jets.
Okay.
Jackson Dart, Ole Miss quarterback, he has a private jet. AR and I have gotten into it about how he thinks this can maybe, disrupt a little bit of the locker room vibe. My take is, if I'm Jackson Dart, Depot, and your wide receivers, you're coming with me this week. Maybe 1 week, I'm taking the offensive lineman. I'm spreading out the love. How do you think this is going to go over? And honestly, I don't know what the approach is going to be. I don't know if Jackson Dart and some of these other quarterbacks that have this deal are going to be flying private by themselves to these games, or they're going to do it with the team.
Did you see the latest names that got a deal?
No. Who
McMillan, the wide receiver at Arizona, and then his quarterback teammate Noah Fafita.
Yeah, they have it.
It looks like the duo is set to have a set number of travel hours for philanthropic. Is that correct? Personal and team use.
Interesting. Okay, so we got a few of these floating around college football, Depot. How do you think this is going to work in the locker room?
Oh, man. I mean, listen, for me, there should be no hating. You, like anything, from a wide receiver's perspective, I'm going to be friends with Jackson Dart anyway. I'm laughing at all his jokes.
I want the rock.
But now the added perks of the private. Hey, Jackson, what are you doing this weekend? Oh, I'm just taking a private jet to Vegas. Man, you know what? That was a nice pass you threw. I thought that I should have. I don't think I could have caught it any better. I think it couldn't have been placed any better. Is there an extra seat?
Okay.
That's how it rolls. There's no hating.
No.
There's no chemistry messed up. And then also, from Jackson Dart's perspective, the first group of people that should be on that plane, right?
The O-line.
The offensive line.
No doubt.
The big uglies. Got to have them out. Hey, listen, guys, all we're going to do is we're going to fly. We're going to go get some steak. I got steaks on there. I got whatever you guys want.
Okay.
And this is where we're going.
Okay.
You got to do it.
I think that's how you do it.
Got to do it.
I think that's how you spread the love around, but that's going to be fun to see. I can't wait to see just a quarterback and maybe his teammates getting off a private jet.
So are they flying separate?
That's what I don't know. That's what I'm curious to see. I can't wait to see when we start this week and next week. Do we see some of these quarterbacks and players around college football hop on these private jets and hop off of them at some of these road games? It's going to be very interesting. I thought about you when this news dropped because you like this team. And I think you really like this quarterback.
Okay.
Because we found out yesterday that USC is officially rolling with Miller Moss.
Yes.
Miller Moss is going to be their starting quarterback for the 2024 season. Still odd to me to see this USC brand within the Big Ten, but I better get used to it because we're starting next week.
Yes.
But Miller Moss, we saw him in their bowl game last year. He looked the part, but the bar is so high. And what I mean by that is...
Not really.
No?
No.
The bar is really high. You're following Caleb Williams.
Who won what?
The Heisman.
Is that a team award? So here's
we're on two different train tracks here.
Yeah.
You're looking at the team perspective. I'm looking at the individual.
Because they won their bowl game with Miller Moss, correct?
I believe they did.
Yeah, and he's off to a great start. I think Caleb Williams struggled with that. Like, once the award was won, not to say he was checked out, but he is a guy who I think will do great at the next level. I do think that Miller Moss's personality fits and meshes better with Lincoln Riley. Lincoln Riley can be more of the stronger personality. He can kind of be, hey, like, do what I say. Miller Moss is all about getting dubs. And to me, wins and losses are a quarterback stat, along with any other stat. It counts. And I think that if he gets off to a hot start in the Big Ten and he's not making plays to where he's putting USC's teams in a bad place, he's sustaining drives, keeping that defense off the field, not making those big plays, I think that Miller Moss has a better opportunity to put himself and his team in position to be a major player in this Big Ten environment.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see him on full display next Sunday night.
He's a baller.
Against LSU. I would love to know what the over-under is for that game. The total point total for that game. CB and Cole, if one of you guys can find that, if it's out there, I would love to know what that line is. Because I have to imagine, based off of what we saw from both their defenses last year, that it's got to be a fairly high number. So you got Nussmeier following up Jaden Daniels. They did lose their offensive coordinator, who's now at Notre Dame. But I think going into that game, I see the vision on USC's offense. I'm all in. Especially when I know you like Zachariah Branch, this kid that it feels like, hey, let's throw him, the ball more times this year. He's ready to pop.
Real quick on Bet365 for that Sunday night game at 63.5.
Yeah, I knew it had to be. I knew it had to be pretty high.
Over or under?
Yeah, point total for USC and LSU. Would you take the over or under on that right now? I'm taking the over.
The over?
Mm-hmm. Game number 1.
LSU -6 in that game right now.
And that's in Vegas, right?
That is right.
Neutral site.
Yeah, give me the over on that.
No weather.
And I think I would lay the points and roll with LSU right now.
You laying the points? I'm gonna go with the under, and I'm gonna take USC to cover.
Okay.
That's just me, though.
No, I know. You I think are a little bit higher on USC than I think a lot of people right now.
I just think they have the type of players that respond in big games, and having played against 2 USC teams where I didn't think like their team the second year was that great. USC has a lot of pride in their football program.
I believe it.
And they recruit guys who are from LA, and they have a huge high school football scene, huge youth football scene. They take pride, as Snoop Dogg, they take pride in those Trojans, man. They do. They do. And
I believe you.
I just believe like people love Penn State and love Nebraska. I just think the storied program entering the Big Ten this year, if you had to rank like history, I'm going with USC over Washington and Oregon. And
I agree with that.
And
for
UCLA.
Sure.
They're a storied program, and they'll take pride in that.
It's a great brand to have attached to the Big Ten.
I mean?
There's no denying. I'm completely with you on that. So that's one more quarterback announcement we have within the Big Ten. Now, Miller Moss is officially the guy. Not a big surprise there, but Lincoln Riley stamped that last night. And then we still have a couple of these quarterback battles that are up in the air right now. And we'll start up in Ann Arbor because this is down to, it sounds like, according to some of the reporting coming from 24/7 Sports, that it's Alex Orji and Davis Warren. Now, Davis Warren may be the name that surprises some people because for a little bit of time this offseason, we heard that Jack Tuttle was the guy that was going to push Alex Orji the most. But now this is down to Alex Orji and Davis Warren. And by the sounds of it, Depot, it's leaning towards Alex Orji because of his progress through the air. And that's something that has been a massive question mark. The dude has been there for 2 years, and he's thrown one pass in games for over 2 years. So, but based off some of the people that have had eyes on camp so far, Alex Orji, the dual threat guy, nice size, elite stuff with his legs, has really progressed as a passer, and it feels like he has maybe a little bit of a leg up on Davis Warren right now, but nothing stamped yet. They're still working through that in Ann Arbor.
They put Alex Orji in the game. I think it was late first quarter, mid second quarter. Can't remember the time, versus Ohio State up in Michigan. And he did some quarterback RPOs, one on our sideline. He dropped a shoulder on one of our defensive backs. And I felt like that was the wrinkle for Michigan. I felt like, oh, wow, we're prepared. Jack Sawyer, JT Tuimoloau out, Tommy Eichenberg, Steele Chambers, Talik, Mike Hall. We're prepared to pin our ears back and rush JJ and pressure him. And not at all did we really feel like he was a running threat. When he came in the game, I said, somebody get him out of the game fast, because I felt the game kind of changing with that RPO and what he brings to the table. And I just felt like, well, if this guy can develop as a passer, what he can do with his feet, even versus, number 2 Ohio State last year as a young guy, he can develop into a scary player. And to be honest, if his development trends upward, Michigan could be a lot better than what people are predicting.
I completely agree.
I felt that dude's presence when he got in the game.
It's just something that spooks you, right? As a defense, it's just this guy that, hey, we can have sticky coverage, and we can cover somebody on a 3rd and 5, but he can sneak out the back door and continue to move those chains, and that's a backbreaker. But maybe even more importantly is he's got the juice to break off some of those long runs too. That can really be a nightmare to deal with. Shoulder. No question, right? So you talk about another team in the top 25 in the Big Ten that's still trying to figure things out, and that's Iowa. And the latest is this is down to K. McNamara, former Michigan Wolverine, and Brendan Sullivan, who transferred in from Northwestern. So that's where we're at with some of these quarterback competitions around the Big Ten. We know some of the obvious ones: Will Howard, Drew Aller, Dylan Gabriel, Tyler Van Dyke for Wisconsin. Those guys we've known for a little bit of time that they're going to be the starter. Nebraska's still up in the air. I think I would be surprised if Dylan Raiola isn't the guy. I mean, his uncle's the offensive line coach. His dad went to Nebraska. But more importantly, the dude is a 5-star talent. Some of the question marks, No idea what Maryland's doing, following Talia Tagovailoa. Purdue's rolling with Hudson Card. Rutgers brought in Ethan Kaliak-Manis from Minnesota. So the Big Ten starting to round into form at the most important position, with the latest being Miller Moss named the starting quarterback for USC. Coming up next, the Kansas City Chiefs. They're trying to make history by being the first team in the Super Bowl era to win 3 Super Bowls. What are some of the challenges that could be ahead for them? Bill Belichick thinks he knows. You'll hear that next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hey, Buckeye fans, ready for the chance to win one of 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences? As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. We're talking tickets, sideline passes, a trip for 2 to the Oregon game, and exclusive access to the Ryan Day Coaches Show. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 winners. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman for the Bath Authority. It's time to make your bath and shower something you really love. Something so great, your singing in the shower comes from a genuine place of happiness. Don't keep staring at that outdated bath, the mold, the mildew, the broken tiles. Every unit from the Bath Authority is custom built. You choose the premium accents and accessories. Right now, get free installation on your new bath or shower, plus 36 months of 0% interest. Visit thebathauthority.com. That's thebathauthority.com. A better bath awaits.
During Toyota's national sales event, you can choose from more hybrid and all-wheel drive vehicles than anyone else, including the family-size Highlander. Now through September 3rd, get any new gas-powered 2024 Highlander and get $1,000 APR cash or $500 on Highlander Hybrid when financed with approved credit through TFS. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, 2 years no-cost maintenance. Get details at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's a quick listening guide. When something's on The Fan, it's on the station you're listening to right now. If I say something's on ESPN Columbus, it's on 1460 AM and The Fan's HD2. When in doubt, stream it on the Fan app. Thank you and good night.
The Columbus Men's Clinic opened in 2014 for guys who get it done. Let's talk, fellas. You solve problems all day at work. You fix your sink when it's broken. But when it comes to ED and low T, it doesn't get done. We get it. You hate going to the doctor, but you're the guy that fixes things. At the Columbus Men's Clinic, there's nothing to fear and no reason to delay. We've been destroying bedroom boredom for a decade. So if you haven't fixed this, call us. When the pills fail, call us. If you feel like you've tried everything, call us. Here, there's hope. From the conventional to the next level. You'll be seen by our friendly, discreet physician who will take the time to listen. Imagine finally taking care of this with no surgery. Imagine going from feeling gray to living life in vibrant color. It's time to be confident. Join the thousands of guys who have found success after walking through our doors. Will you be one of them? Dial 614-300-7400 or go to ColumbusMen'sClinic.com to schedule a $99 male performance consultation, including blood work. Do it for you. Do it for her. ColumbusMen'sClinic.com. Book your appointment now.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is, fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are clear for now. We're going to see our temperatures rise through the rest of the day. Highs hitting 73 degrees. Nice and cool, nice and comfortable today. Tonight we drop back down to the 40s and 50s before warming things right back up into the 70s tomorrow. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your weather impact forecast on The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
It's Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, welcome back in. Matty Ice. Got my guy Depot. DeVier Posey's in the building for AR today. Bottom of the hour. Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com. He'll join us. Preview week 0. Really only one game. I don't even know if we really care about the first game. But it's just going to be kind of that, hey, football is back by it. Watch a first quarter, Florida State, Georgia Tech getting after it. That'll be good to see. And then we'll get cooking next week. I know some SEC teams are playing next Thursday and Friday. I can't wait to look at Missouri and see what they look like, because
see if they're real or fake.
Yeah, just to see, you hear the names Brady Cook and Luther Burden. He's going to be one of the best receivers in the country with Emeka and, McMillan from Arizona and some other guys. But how well-rounded is Missouri? Are they ready to be one of the big dogs? Can they be a big dog in the SEC? I'm curious to see what that looks like, because, between the SEC and the Big Ten, it's going to be some high-level football played this year.
Yep.
High-level football played this year. As always. No, but it feels like it's ratcheted up a little bit more with the additions of Texas and Oklahoma down there and USC and Oregon over here. Just the divisionless stuff we're doing now in the Big Ten and the top 2 teams playing for the championship this year and all of that, man. It's exciting stuff for sure, and it's going to start this Saturday. As we talk a ton about college football, and rightfully so, what's right around the corner as well is the kickoff of the NFL season. And we're starting this thing off a couple Thursdays from now with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens, which, features Lamar as the 2-time MVP and Pat Mahomes as, freaking just everything right now. Darth Vader of the NFL with what he's doing around the league at such a crazy pace to start his career. But they are chasing history this year. And they're looking to become the first team to three-peat in the Super Bowl era. And got to give it to them. When you subtract Tyreek Hill from the equation and you go on to win back-to-back Super Bowls, that's as impressive as it can get. Now, it's worked out for both parties. Tyreek's been doing his thing down in the 305. But as far as Kansas City is concerned, they have been locked in. And so now, as I mentioned, they're chasing that carrot. They're chasing history, and they're trying to be one team to do something nobody else has ever done. And so Bill Belichick was on with Pat McAfee, and this is a guy that we knows a little bit of something about winning. And here he is with his thoughts on where they at right now and the process that they may be going through trying to win a 3rd Super Bowl trophy in a row.
But why is it so hard to go back to back, you think? And what was your message and kind of mindset after you win a Super Bowl for the next season? Is it just same exact every single year, or do you have to adapt your messaging after you've got to the mountaintop?
Well, I think it's 2 messages, really. One is starting all over again, rebuilding everything, starting at the base, and putting the stacking days together and weeks together in training camp on your fundamentals and, building those pillars that give you strength to get you through a long regular season and postseason, particularly in the fundamentals. So it's starting over, but it's also finding a new way to win. And each year is a different year. Even if you have some of the same players, there's always some differences, whether it's your opponents or the circumstances that you go through during the course of the year. That varies from year to year. So we'll see what Kansas City's challenges are this year. Whether it's a fast start and maybe they'll dip in there or vice versa. Who knows? But it'll be there. I do think one of the biggest things they have going for them is, great leadership from the quarterback. I think Mahomes is the hardest worker on the team, which is a great thing to have. We had that with Brady, so nobody slacks off when the quarterback doesn't slack off. The receivers, the offensive line, and the defense, puts a lot of pressure on them. I'm sure the practices are very competitive. So, 2 most important people here obviously are Mahomes and Reed, and they're really good.
It's crazy to me how the Kansas City Chiefs, we can call them a dynasty now, right? At this point, if they three-peat, it's no doubt a dynasty.
Yeah,
maybe we're not there yet, but they're very, very close to that. it's wild to me, Depot, how what they're doing right now is really mirroring exactly what happened in New England. And with Bill, what he mentioned there, where you have this Hall of Fame coach and this Hall of Fame quarterback paired together, going through a division that, let's be honest, it's been kind of light. And when Tom Brady and the New England Patriots were rocking and rolling through the AFC East, they didn't face a whole bunch of resistance. Now, when they went on the AFC Championship games and faced Peyton and some other teams, they had to earn it there. But you talk about those two factors, both that quarterback and head coach combination being paired with Hall of Fame tight ends along the way as well. It's pretty wild how the Brady-Belichick era and the Mahomes-Andy Reid era are pretty similar to this point throughout, the Kansas City side of things.
Yeah. And to Andy Reid's credit, I just want to make sure I mention that he's been an offensive guru even when he was with the Eagles.
No question.
Bill Belichick, he drafted a guy late in the draft that changed the trajectory of his career. I mean, we were done with him in Cleveland, and obviously he had his coordinator's time as an NFL coach, but Andy Reid had Donovan McNabb, and he had a high-flying offense when he was in Philly, and when the game evolved and RPOs came in and just his creativity could be on full display. Quarterback communication took a level up, and you draft a guy like Mahomes. Andy Reid finally had the tools and the pieces in play to really take off, and it's like Andy Reid was just blessed with just another level in his coaching career with Patrik Mahomes, right? And I think that's the unique thing to me that makes me kind of favor the start of the Kansas City Chiefs dynasty over the Patriots dynasty. But the Patriots dynasty was built around defense, and it was built around, obviously it was Brady. I don't want this to be controversial. Yeah, it was Brady, but they had great defense.
They did,
and
they did. and look, to be fair, Kansas City had a great defense last year, and I think that's what elevated them and allowed them.
It wasn't talked about enough.
It wasn't. I mean, they were second in the league in yards allowed.
Yep.
And they have a Hall of Fame guy in Chris Jones on that D-line and some good playmakers all over the place. But Steve Spagnuolo, their defensive coordinator in that unit, they deserved a bunch of love last year for what they did because – you were watching those games along with all of us. The offense wasn't sexy last year for Kansas City with the amount of drops and all that stuff.
Well, it made you question, could they win the Super Bowl?
Right.
Yeah.
And then they really had to earn it, remember, by going on the road. The AFC didn't go through Kansas City. It went through Baltimore.
And they only, and to that credit, we were looking at the box score of the AFC Championship last week.
Disgusting.
The Kansas City Chiefs offense scored no points in the second half.
Not a point.
They kicked a field goal, but their defense
kept them afloat.
They almost essentially shut the Ravens out. I mean, just the play on Zay Flowers. Yeah, you can blame Zay, but from
L'Jarius Sneed,
from a defensive player's perspective, you talk about bend don't break, like that's big time stuff. Getting a fumble on the goal line, and that just speaks to their defense. But I think Bill Belichick and the Patriots had an excellent run. I'm just enjoying behind the back passes and no look passes. I love Travis Kelce. He can't do no wrong to me. I'm just enjoying the Chiefs dynasty.
I'm not enjoying it as much as you are, but I hear what you're saying.
From a fan's perspective, it's fun to watch, man.
I get it, man. They're a special unit. There's no doubt about that. You know who else is a special unit? That's the Columbus Men's Clinic, because the Columbus Men's Clinic is the largest and most experienced men's health practice in Columbus. Did you know that their patients average 3 failures with other places before coming to the Columbus Men's Clinic? If you've been waiting to treat your low T or ED, or maybe you had a bad experience with yet another clinic that opened quickly and closed, it's time to get in there and move forward with your sex life, your career, and gym goals. They specialize in seeing guys who think they're out of luck regain hope that they can be successful in the bedroom and beyond. Seriously, go see the team that for 10 years has been #1 in Ohio for men's health. Stop thinking about it and get in there. Call 614-300-7400. That's 614-300-7400. Or go online to columbusmensclinic.com to book an appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com. We talk all things college football with Pete Fiutak next from collegefootballnews.com. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and this month 0% financing is back by popular demand on the 2024 Toyota Tundra for 48 months. But hurry in before they're gone. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for details. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky with approved credit, tax title, and $250 doc fee not included. Offer ends August 30th.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Your local Rite Aid might be closing, but don't worry. It's easy to transfer your prescriptions with GoodRx. First, check prices at GoodRx.com or on our app. Then show your coupon to the pharmacist. It's that simple. GoodRx can save you up to 80% on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, GoodRx is free and it works whether you have insurance or not. Download the app or visit GoodRx.com today. GoodRx is not insurance but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Did you and your family lose Ohio Medicaid and need health coverage? Check this out. You may be eligible to enroll in a low-cost health plan at healthcare.gov. With the new law, 4 out of 5 customers can find a plan for $10 or less per month with financial help. Healthcare.gov offers quality plans that cover doctor visits, prescriptions, emergency care, and more. Healthcare.gov is here for you. Enroll today for coverage starting the 1st of next month. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Obsessed with fantasy sports and gambling things, we have the slightly above average radio show for you. On the Money with Dave Biddle and Scotty Vegas.
Presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
Wednesday night at 8 on The Fan.
Pain from arthritis is just awful. Constant pain. It robs you of so much of the stuff you love to do. But there are effective ways to deal with that pain. My dad and I can both tell you we were able to get relief without medication or surgery. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Listen, there are exciting new cellular therapies that can get you lasting relief. The place to go, QC Kinetics, right here in Columbus, Ohio. Dr. Ray Tesner and his team at QC Kinetics utilize cutting-edge treatments that accelerate your own body's healing properties, revitalizing your joints so you can move again. Learn how QC Kinetics can use advanced regenerative medicine to treat the pain, enhance your joints, and restore your mobility. Surgery and pain pills, they're not the only option. My dad and I went there. We feel so much better. He's able to move around and walk like he wants to. I'm able to go out and run and do the things that I enjoy. So here's the great thing. Give them a call at 380-208-4544. Go to qckinetics.com/Columbus. They have 3 offices in Dublin, Gahanna, and Grove City.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This year, Dell Technologies' Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
No one funks up the work microwave like these two. Fish again? You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Welcome back in. Got Matty Ice in the house with you. Our guy DeVier Posey, former Buckeye wide receiver, holding it down for AR again this week. Gonna light up right now the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Bring on our guy, Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com, one of our favorites. Pete, week 0 has arrived. College football is in the air. How you feeling, my man?
I just tested positive for COVID. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Happy football season.
Wow.
So that's how I'm feeling technically at the moment.
Well, I'm
but
sorry.
other than that, I actually feel fine.
Okay.
So, yay.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you feel okay. We wish you the best, man. Hopefully you can crawl out of that.
I feel fine.
Okay.
I feel fine, but literally like 10 minutes ago, I'm like, oh, it's kind of odd because everyone else in my family had it. So I'm like, better now than like in like 3 weeks from now when I'm really kicking in full force. But yeah, so I feel fine. But worst part is I just have to stay in my office and not see anybody, which is pretty much what I'm doing now anyway for the next 5 months. So nothing changes in my life.
All right.
But other than that, yeah, actually I'm excited about college football showing up on Saturday.
Yeah, so are we. Can't wait to see what it looks like, especially Florida State with just some new faces, attached to that brand. This year, we were talking earlier about some of the Big Ten quarterbacks and some of these programs now naming their starters over the last few days. And we talked about Miller Moss being named the starting quarterback for USC. Not a major surprise there at all, but Lincoln Riley officially made it official. USC now coming into the Big Ten, Pete. Where do you think they're going to stack up in year one?
I don't know. This is a hard one because, first of all, look at the lineage now under Lincoln Riley, where you're starting out with Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray. Spencer Rattler was there for a little bit. Obviously a very good quarterback. I mean, not at that level, but very good. Jalen Hurts, Caleb Williams. That's a pretty good run of quarterbacks. That's a $1 billion group of NFL quarterbacks hanging there. I'm not quite sure Miller Moss fits in with that group. But obviously he was good in the bowl game. Obviously he looks good. He looked fine in camp so far. So I don't know if the offense, if it's the offense or the players, but certainly that offense is still going to work. The key is going to be that defense just has to stop somebody. There's still talent there. There's still USC. Lincoln Riley, still a very good head coach. But you look at that schedule and, considering they don't have a proven defense yet, you're saying, you know what, there could be 5 losses on there. I don't think there will be, but you're looking at that slate. They're not going to be, I think, the big force that they were 2 years ago or maybe even last year if Miller Moss is not the next Caleb Williams.
Absolutely. Wanted to ask you, Pete, let's go down to the SEC. There are some teams, obviously, top-heavy, Georgia. And I wanted to ask you about a few teams like, Missouri and Oklahoma and Tennessee, and just what kind of fillers are you getting on those teams? Obviously, Florida has a gauntlet. I don't expect them to come out of that. But what are you seeing outside of Bama and Georgia?
It's kind of funny because it is Bama and Georgia. I do think Bama, if anything, is a little underappreciated right now. They're still going to be really good. Kalen DeBoer is a fantastic head coach. Jalen Milroe is a deep ball thrower. He's now in the deep ball offense. He's about to do something big. So, the problem is schedule. And that's kind of the new funky thing with these expanded conferences is that, so you have in the Big Ten, you have a USC and an Oregon and a Washington, and on the SEC now Oklahoma and Texas come in. It also means you can't play everybody, which means some teams get Georgia and Alabama and Texas, and some teams get Mississippi State and Vanderbilt and miss the big teams. So out of that group that you kind of mentioned, there's 2 things about this. One, I do think, stuff's going to get real fast for Texas and Oklahoma coming in and now playing these SEC schedules where they were able to get away with some stuff in the Big 12 that they're not going to get away with in the SEC schedule. And then look at the slate. Look at Texas A&M's schedule. They start out with Notre Dame. They end the season with Texas. Both those games are at home. If they could split those 2 games against those likely Power 5, college football playoff programs, look at the in-between there and find me the game they can't win. They don't play Georgia. They don't play Alabama. I think they miss Tennessee and Oklahoma, and so it's they miss. Oh, they miss Ole Miss too. They miss just about everyone. So is Texas A&M one of the 5 best teams in the SEC? I'm not quite there on that. But you could look at that schedule and say if they beat Notre Dame to start the season, which they very well could, they could be 10-2 and be like a 9th-ish seed in the college football playoff.
Wow.
Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com, joining us here on the Fan via the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Pete, I want to bring you back to the Big Ten and ask you about a couple head coaches and their programs in year 2, and that's Matt Rule in Nebraska and Luke Fickell in Wisconsin. Which program do you think is ready to take the bigger leap in year 2 under their new head coach, Wisconsin or the Cornhuskers?
Well, I'm going to be just broken record time. Take a look at both their schedules. And in terms of leap, it's going to be Nebraska because they're going to go from not being able to get to a bowl game for the last, bazillion years, at least that's how it feels, to now they're going to be probably 7-5-ish at worst. Look at that Wisconsin schedule. They get Alabama. It's a home game. It's still Alabama. And then you look at the rest of that slate. They could be better than last year and still have to fight to get to 7 wins or even 6-6. So at the very least, there needs to be a proof of concept under Luke Fickell. If you're going to go away from what worked for decades at Wisconsin, they hit a ceiling where after a while, not having the highest end of players was only got them so far. That was the winningest Power 5 program to not get to the college football playoff in the 14 college football playoff era. And now they went away from the running game. The defense took a step back. They weren't sharp. So if this is going to work, this has to start to look the part with that passing game and a more balanced attack.
Pete, crazy to say, but is it also crazy to think that there could potentially be 3 teams from the ACC that make the playoffs with Florida State, Clemson, and Miami?
It's going to be about this. It's going to be about the records. At the end of the day, if you look at the 10-year history of the 4-team college football playoff, you had to be at least 10-2. And last year, I think it was Oklahoma would have been left out, even at 10-2. 10-2 almost certainly gets you in. Where it's going to get really weird is what happens if, say, a conference champion is a loser in a conference championship is 9-4. Is that going to be too much to overcome? And so it's really going to be about how much room is there going to be, because you're going to have a group of 5 champions going to get in. You're going to have the 4 Power 4 conference champions, and you've got Notre Dame. There's only 6 spots left after that. So you've got to assume that out of those 6 spots, let's say the Michigan, Ohio State loser, probably Michigan in this case, maybe in. There's certainly going to be probably another Big Ten team there, certainly at least a couple of the SEC teams, and maybe throwing a random Big 12 team. All of a sudden, there's not a lot of space. And so that's why it's going to be interesting to see, like when Clemson plays Georgia to start the season, and they play South Carolina late, and Miami has some nasty games against SEC teams. These ACC teams are going to have to win these non-conference games to make sure that they can get to at least 10 wins.
We'll get you out of here on this one. When we get to next week, one of the big primetime games is going to be Notre Dame taking on Texas A&M. And for me, Pete, like I look at Marcus Freeman in that program, and I could be wrong in saying this, but I feel like they need that one. Like he needs that one to really prove that he is the guy. Now that he brought in Riley Leonard, hit us with your thoughts on Notre Dame going into 2024.
It's going to be an overreaction either way, however this goes, because Texas A&M might be that good. I mean, their lines are very, very good. Connor Wegman's might be the next great SEC quarterback, and Mike Elko is going to stabilize things. So losing at Texas A&M, as long as they don't get housed, is not going to be, you can't really fault them too much. It's not the end of the world. And then take a look again. I'm sorry to keep going to this, but look at the Notre Dame schedule. There's nothing there. I mean, as soon as they don't biff against Louisville again, they're fine, and then they get Florida State at home in November, and they go to USC at the end of the regular season. So even if they do lose to Texas A&M, as long as they just lose one more the rest of the way, they're fine. They're in the college football playoff somehow. And if they beat Texas A&M, the bar is then set at least 11-1. Get that 5 seed because they can't get one of the top 4 seeds, and then it goes from there. But it's all about the offensive line. The offensive line had to be rebuilt. They lost their best left tackle, Charles Jagasaw, and now they're going against a nasty defensive front for Texas A&M that's going to be in the backfield all day long. So, fun game. But either way, expect a massive week 1 overreaction. Give it a few weeks, and then determine Notre Dame from there.
No doubt. He's Pete Fiutak, collegefootballnews.com. Does a great job covering the sport. Pete, hopefully you get healthy in time for next week, man, because ball has arrived. So I'm sure we'll be talking to you in the coming weeks. Thanks so much, man.
No time for anything. We're all good. Thanks so much, guys.
He was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Coming up in the Buckeye Bulletin, we now know who are the 4 captains for Ohio State going into 2024. You'll hear from their head coach. That's how that decision came about next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on the Fan.
Common Man has spent the past 18 years telling you how much he hates people. And yes, that probably means you, too. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays at 3.
The Fan.
We're dealing at Reichert Nissan. Hundreds of Nissans in stock, on the ground, and priced to sell fast. Low lease payments on brand new Reichert Nissan Sentras, only $219 a month. Now we're really dealing. With our lowest prices and 72-hour exchange policy, you can't buy the wrong car. Visit the Reichert Mega Mall off 270 and 33, or shop thousands of new and certified used at ReichertNissan.com. Right car at Reichert. We're dealing
with approved credit. 2024 Sentra SV FWD 36-month lease with $3,000 due at signing. Offer ends 9/3/24.
Experience a piece of history this September and pay tribute to those that have served in the Vietnam War. Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit the Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havener Park in Liberty Township. Witness the official 3/4 scale replica of the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public 24 hours a day until 2 p.m. on the 15th. For volunteering opportunities and to learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.
Look what we have here. It's the refreshing deliciousness of a Pepsi mini can. It's the perfect complement to any meal. The dash of indulgence your day was dreaming of. The sip that'll have you singing Pepsi.
Nope, not again, Steve. Let's take a cue from the Pepsi mini can and pack all that awesomeness you're feeling into a much smaller treat for everyone. Deal?
So, big awesomeness, smaller size. I think I've got just the thing.
Pepsi mini can. Mini can, big taste.
Let's think winter for a second. I know, not cool. For a lot of us, though, last winter, our heating bills were stupid high and our homes were freezing, and we did nothing. It's Bobby. And my friends at Pella Windows, the window that you, Columbus, voted the leading and most trusted, are giving us a reason to think about winter now with a very legitimate offer of 0% financing for, get this, 60 months or 50% off qualifying installations. Good through August. The local Pella team is amazing, so go check them out at PellaColumbus.com.
Morning Juice.
You call the stuff that you have available to you with the players that are out there. You wouldn't run it as much with Julian as you would with Devin, Lincoln, Air, or Will.
Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Affinity Whole Health.
Weekday mornings at 6. The Fan.
More and more people are falling into problem gambling. Mary Haven's experts offer comprehensive care. You and your loved ones can count on mental, emotional, and financial guidance.
Confidential and judgment-free. Go to maryhaven.com today.
That's the sound of sweat falling drip by miserable drip, because your AC has decided to call it quits in this heat. But the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team never quits. So no sweat. The Waterworks offers same-day AC service to help you keep your cool this summer. And that sounds amazing. Call the Waterworks Heating and Cooling team, 614-333-9720, or schedule service on our website. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better AC.
Hey, it's Bobby. When it comes to tackling a project as important as your roof, you want a company that cares about the product and experience they're going to deliver. At Newman Roofing, you're more than just a number. They believe in 100% customer satisfaction. And for your roofing needs, give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
Progressive presents Renters MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
It was the clues these victims left behind that led police to their killers.
How I Caught My Killer. The true crime phenomenon returns.
We lifted that floorboard up. Lo and behold, a trench.
With 10 all-new episodes.
Because of the screenshots he left behind, he was a hero.
It's like she was calling out to us from the grave.
I couldn't believe it.
We were shocked.
I see this.
He just recorded his own murder.
We got a serial killer off the street.
How I Caught My Killer. Now streaming only on Hulu.
Want to know anything about the Fans contest, how to win, or what's up for grabs? Check out 971thefan.com. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Feeling the heat? Call the experts at Logan Services now for hot deals on train systems, including 0% APR for 60 months.
All right, welcome back in. Depot, let's knock out a Buckeye Bulletin. Season is almost here. Got a starting quarterback name. Got captain's name. Congrats to those guys, man. It's a tremendous honor, right?
Great group.
Phenomenal group. Travion Henderson. Emeka Egbuka. Jack Sawyer. Who am I forgetting off the top of my head right now? Cody Simon. Thank you.
You're talking about Agent Zero.
Another tremendous honor. Cody Simon. Be a big-time leader on that defense this year.
That's my guy I got circled, man. I got him and Jordan Hancock's circled for just scheduled to make big plays.
Okay.
They're going to be, household names by the end of the season. Like, if you think you love Eichenberg and you think you love Steel Chambers, man, just wait till you see Cody Simon and C.J. Hicks and Sonny Styles. Like, this group is... They have a chance to be special. And then even on top of that, James Laurinaitis has his hands all over the development of these guys.
One of the best to ever do it for the Scarlet and Gray at that position.
It's going to be a good group this year.
And Arvell Reese has been getting love, too.
Arvell Reese is going to crack the rotation as well. The Ohio State defense is just better when there's a tar-blooder, Cleveland Glenville alumni on that defense. I got a lot of love for the Tar-Blooders, man. Those are my dudes.
Yeah, it's been some great ones that'll come through that program. Coming down to Columbus and balling out. So hopefully he will be next in line to do that. But when it comes to the four captains that we just mentioned, Coach Day was on last night, and here he is talking about how they arrived at that decision to name those four guys the captain.
The captains are voted on by the players and the team. Every year we have two different periods where we vote on our leadership committee. One is before we start our winter work in February, and then after spring ball before our summer workouts start. And that allows our team to see some of the leaders on the leadership committee in leadership settings and see how they actually do. And the same guys who are selected in the winter aren't always the same ones in the summer. So by the time it's about time to vote for the captains, we've done it a few times, and guys have been in those situations. So our guys did a great job voting. I think they did a great job in their selection. I think Cody, Emeka, Trey, and Jack all represent Ohio State the way that everybody would expect. But the thing about this team is, there could have been about 8 to 10 captains. But, we're happy that, with the guys that were selected. And then Cody, really, it was another difficult decision on the Block O Award. It's something that Coach Mick and his staff really have a huge input on. I give my input as well, but in the end, felt like Cody really stuck out.
Coach was on the season kickoff show last night, Depot, and that's great to hear, right? Is not only do you have guys, let's say that maybe are the upper echelon of the captain voting, right? But you still have confidence that you've got other leaders in different spots up and down that roster. He mentioned 8 to 10. That was the number that he threw out. I think that's really impressive, but I also think it speaks to why this team is going to be so good this year, is because of the veteran leadership in different rooms, whether it's the D-line room or the cornerback room or the wide receiver room, whatever it is. When you have experience, to me, usually that translates into good things on the field, and that's why my expectation level for this year's squad is so high.
Yeah, I'm with you on that level of expectation, but I'm going to sit on the side of the table where that motivation is so high, man. It's I get everybody around here. You can say what you want, national championship or bust and that. Like, you hear it everywhere you go. You start talking Ohio State football. It's like, man, if they can't do it with this roster,
the players have been saying it. They're embracing it,
and that's okay. But what hasn't been talked about is how pissed off a Jack Sawyer or Mecca or Cody or JTT, like, they know they're great players, and they know that they need to show that in the wins and loss columns. And I just am looking forward to motivated, pissed off silver bullets who are able to fly around. And I just expect just
laser focus,
decapitations,
laser focus,
just
all over the place.
That motivation factor is what I'm excited to see. Like, I want to see it in their celebrations in between plays. I want to see it within their, talking to each other on the sideline, celebrating other guys. Like, that is the key to, like, winning, is, like, loving each other and everybody being motivated on the same goal.
I think you laid that out really well, because when you talk about some of the guys that you mentioned that are looking to correct the wrong of their rivalry, that's always going to be in front of them, obviously, with how far that is down the schedule. And I think that's always going to keep them on track. Anthony always drops a good line that says, complacency comes to collect. And I don't think this is going to be that type of year where we're talking about a game to where, and look, it's football at the end of the day. But I think because of the veteran leadership and skill set and what you just mentioned, that's going to keep everybody, hey, listen, this is what we got to do week in and week out to get to where we want to go.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to be the guys, not us saying it, like, that win was good, but not good enough. Right. We could have been better. And, like, you love guys with that Mamba mentality, and I think this team is going to embody that and embrace that more than anything this year. They're not going to come to a microphone and say, hey, listen, like, we could be better. They're going to be like, they're going to come to microphones and saying we can be better. They're not going to come to microphones and say, hey, we're just better than them. We're going to beat them. No, these guys are humble, hardworking. And obviously you put a guy like Cody Simon, who doesn't say many words in the block O and lets his play and his pads talk for him. He's one of your leaders. Like, I'm just excited to see, like, the spirit of the team.
Yeah. You mentioned Cody Simon letting his play do the talking. That's like that Marshawn Lynch moment. It's about that action, boss.
Yeah,
I'm not here to talk.
Yeah.
Super Bowl media day?
Absolutely.
No, it's not for me.
Yep.
It's not for me. I'm just here to run around and give you some smoke. Yeah. And I think that's what this defense is going to bring to the table. And the defense, I'm sure, all off season, they've sat back and had to hear about, Dylan Gabriel and this Oregon offense and this and that. And they're like, okay. We're in the lab. We got something for you.
Okay.
That is today's Buckeye Bulletin. Top of the hour. We'll hit you with a deep dive after an update. And also want to let you know about some cool stuff happening here on The Fan when it comes to high school football right here on our airwaves. That's next. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
Whatever you're doing right now, just know that Bo Bishop is enjoying a sip of bourbon, even if this promo is playing in the morning. No judgment.
Sweet morning drinking.
The Fan.
Get your air conditioner fixed fast. Call Care Heating and Cooling. 1-800-COOLING.
You know that project you've been working on? Just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Hey guys, Chaps here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends. Cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50 plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the last few weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather. But the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But Chopper, summer's almost over. That's the point, guys. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing 60 pounds. Then that propelled me to lose another 35. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. Mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping your first 20, then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said groove. You'll be saying it too just a few weeks from now. 20 pounds summer slim down with the solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
When there's a United Dairy Farmers nearby, made from scratch ice cream is too. Stop by while 2-dip cones are buy one, get one free. All flavors, including peach and cookies and cream. UDF ice cream, made for you.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team? Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
This year, Dell Technologies' Back to School event is delivering impressive tech with an inspiring purpose. Learn how Dell is helping Computer Aid, whose work is helping solar community hubs with tech and AI literacy skills to empower remote, displaced, or disconnected communities around the world. Help Dell make a difference and shop AI-ready PCs powered by Snapdragon X Series processors at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. We have to get through just one more Saturday without Ohio State football. Over the weekend, the Buckeyes announced that Jack Sawyer, Cody Simon, Emeka Egbuka, and Travion Henderson will be the captains for this season. Ryan Day on the season kickoff show last night talked about that process.
The captains are voted on by the players and the team. Our guys did a great job voting. I think they did a great job in their selection. I think Cody, Emeka, Trey, and Jack all represent Ohio State the way that everybody would expect.
7:05 tonight, the Guardians start a series in the Bronx against the Yankees. Matthew Boyd makes the start for Cleveland. He'll oppose Luis Gil. The Reds continue their series up in Canada with the Blue Jays. Carson Spires versus Jose Barrios. The pitching matchup, 7:07 start. This one's sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, give him a call at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, get back in here, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rothman and Ice. Matty Ice, the former Buckeye wide receiver, DeVier Posey in the building, holding it down for our guy, Anthony Rothman. Let me tell you about this stuff. You know about this because you're involved. Uh-oh. Friday nights, it means high school football in Ohio. The fan game of the week kicks off this Friday at 7 p.m. with Harvest Prep taking on Pickerington Central. After the game, it's the Byers Dublin Subaru overtime with Ryan Baker and Lee Cochran. High school football is back on the Fan. Harvest Prep at Pick Central. I could say our neck of the woods now because you're out there now.
Yep.
You're out there in the 43147. So, yeah, that's great, man. Like, it's always a good time. Go to a high school game.
Yeah.
Just kind of take you back to your roots a little bit. See the kids running around, all of that. You know, I love it. Especially Central over at Central. They got that same stadium that's been there.
Well, they're in the
forever.
new stadium this year.
Oh, I'm asleep.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
Yeah, and I know you're not up on the Central News.
Real quick, I will tell you a story, and I've told DeVier this before.
Yeah.
I was that little kid one time running around. I believe it was a DeSales-LaSalle football game back in the late 2000s. And when DeVier Posey was on punt return for the LaSalle Lancers.
CV agent me. Here we go.
This is why you want Caleb Downs on punt return or Emeka on punt return because you used to be back there.
CB, you just got to do this to me. You just got to do it.
Depot, we're old now. Just embrace it, man. Like the kids are hitting me with sir now.
When you get called Unc or OG, that's when it hits you.
But the sirs just hurt.
Sir, I say yes, ma'am, even to women younger than me, and I say yes, sir, even to people younger than me. It's just a respect thing.
But it's just like the high school kids now.
Yeah.
When they see me, it's like, how you doing, sir? And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
I got you. But, man, on those Friday nights, though, Matty, it's the best form of football. It's so raw. It's so fresh. It's your biggest stage to date in your football career. It's where you kind of build your legend as a player. Friday Night Lights, I remember just being a little kid, being on the side field, peeking over the fence like, this guy just scored. Oh, and then you see him walk into the locker room, and to you, they're stars, and then you get an opportunity to play, not knowing if the college dream is real or not. But I love Friday nights with the fan, calling those games, bringing excitement, seeing the players and the talent in the area around 270. Man, it is such an honor to be able to do that here with the fan, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's electric. I got those same memories of when I first came to Pickerington, going over to, Ridgeview Junior High, where the field is, and they had the big hill over there. And we would just be up on that hill whole time, chasing girls, talking trash, all that type of stuff, man. It builds that character that you're talking about. So, no, it is a very authentic old school vibe over at Pick Central when you go watch a high school football game. Yeah. And I love that. Now, you come over to the north side, too. Well, I'm check out my high school. That's
I'm actually I'll be there week 4.
Oh, you'll be at,
I'll be there week 4.
You'll see my guy, Coach Hillerich, huh?
Yeah, I'll be there week 4. I'm excited. And that venue is beautiful, too. So my son ran track over there. It's my only time in that stadium. But that's a nice venue.
That's how we do things on the north side.
Now, the question is it loud in there?
It can get loud.
It can get loud in there.
It can get loud in there.
Okay.
Hopefully, my guy, Coach Hillerich, and the squad will give, the fans something to talk about. I might actually come to that game. You said it was week 4?
Yeah, week 4.
Who are they playing?
I got to double check. Yeah,
it's a home game, though.
Yeah.
I need to be in the building for that. Like, I used to just love it, right? You get to, your $5 to $10 from your mom or dad. Get your little small pepperoni pizza, and you just you run around and kick it. So that's a beautiful thing. And now, when you're an adult, you transition over to, you like cigars and, have a game day cigar.
Coaching my kids' team, doing the radio, doing that whole thing. And now I experience game day in a different way.
You going to be a hard-nosed coach? How are we going to go? You're going to be a Belichick type of coach, or you're going to be more of like a Mike McDaniel type of coach down in Miami?
Nah, I'm more like, I would say I'm a motivator.
Okay.
Like I am about the Al Pacino pregame speeches, like that.
Speaking of North, we used to listen to that before we left the locker room.
Yeah, I'm all about that.
Man, that's just
I'm all about
just
the
goosebumps, man. Because it was just dead silent in the locker room, and you just start cranking that up.
Yeah, honestly, I might be one of the few people that enjoys the Jameis Winston pregame speech.
Listen, I'm all in on Jameis. I'm all in on Jameis. The Browns put out a clip of Jameis. He was mic'd up, I think, from maybe their first or second preseason game. Yeah. The guy is absolutely hilarious.
Man, he shouldn't be that funny.
He just seems like he's a good time to be around.
Man.
He seems like he's a great teammate.
Yeah.
He's good. Look, now when he comes in the game, things could get a little wild as far as where the football is going.
But he is a Heisman Trophy national championship guy. I mean, he is decorated. And so it comes from with respect.
No question. And to add to your point, because you're right, he is in a pretty exclusive club. There haven't been a ton of quarterbacks in the history of the game that have thrown for 5,000 yards in a season.
You know what I mean?
Now, 30 interceptions did come along with that.
Now he's going to throw it. To who?
But you don't know. But his key card works in an exclusive room. Yeah. When you go in that room, there's some elite quarterbacks there. Since you brought up real quick the Browns quarterback, there was a report, Depot, that came out this morning from Zach Jackson, who covers the team. And he said that the Browns have made apparently DTR available for trade, which I think is interesting. So their 4 quarterbacks have been obviously Deshaun, Jameis, DTR, and Tyler Huntley, who came over from Baltimore. Yeah. So it looks like they're dangling DTR out there for bait. Who knows what it brings in return? I know there's a lot of uncertainty right now around their quarterback room. But last year just showed, even zooming out from the Browns quarterback situation with their injuries, I think the number was, between 50 to 60 different quarterbacks started games.
Yeah.
Last year. So you got to have that depth. It wouldn't surprise me. I know some people like DTR, but maybe in the minds of Dorsey and Stefanski, they've watched Tyler Huntley play in Baltimore, almost won a playoff game, for the Ravens down in Cincinnati. Maybe that's gives them a better feel, but that's just, I don't know. But that's just the latest report is that DTR is apparently available.
That's a good thing for DTR. I mean, there's organizations like New Orleans, Minnesota, I would even go down to Carolina, maybe Tampa, that need a number 2, number 3 guy. And DTR is in a room where he was groomed well under Stefanski. He got to learn. He got playing experience. It was positive. And it showed he's a pro. He's a pro quarterback. He could be trusted. He can come in and give you positive plays. I hope he lands somewhere nice. And because there is some number 2 jobs open right now.
No question. No doubt about it. And so we talked earlier about some of these Big Ten quarterbacks being crowned as the guy going in to the year. Some of that's starting to come into focus in the NFL as well, right? With Jaden Daniels being named the starter for Washington.
Yeah.
And you have Gardner Minshew beating out Aiden O'Connell with the Las Vegas Raiders. What's up? What you got?
Are you in on this Bo Nix winning Rookie of the Year? Do you like the preseason 28 for 30 plus?
I don't like him to be Rookie of the Year just because I think between Caleb and Jaden Daniels, their numbers will be a little sexier because of what they'll do with their legs.
Yeah.
Now, there's no denying, and I'm glad you brought him up because he looks comfortable.
He looks good.
Now, I don't know if in these first couple preseason games how many reps he's getting against opposing ones.
Yeah.
But as far as what we saw from him at Oregon last year, the last 2 years, and what I mean by that is efficiency.
Yeah.
That is translated right now into the NFL. And so the Russell Wilson, Sean Payton experiment was a mess.
He's older than some starters he'll play against.
There's no, which is absolutely crazy. But Debo, he definitely seems like because of the amount of reps he got at the collegiate level, that this dude can go now into the NFL and not be overwhelmed by the system and be able to go out there and grab the steering wheel and take them on a pretty smooth ride. So he looks good out of the gate. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Sean Payton has a good grasp on like keeping a super talented quarterback thirsty to play and on his stuff. I don't know if he names him the starter week 1.
Really?
I mean, I hope he does.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember at the time of training camp, he named Jared Stidham the starter going in, and then obviously it motivated Bo Nix to put the performances he had out there in the competition. But I just wonder, do you lose a guy like that if week 2 he has a bad game, throws 3 picks?
You mean Stidham?
I mean,
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
You think
Bo
mentally
Nix.
that could?
I think for me as I'm not a coach. I would think if I were a coach,
you are.
Yeah, for the flag football,
you are a coach now.
10 and under, 5 and under team. Yeah. Do you lose a quarterback's mental if you have him competing all camp, he wins the job, and then something bad happens, right?
Here's where I'm at. I just think Sean Payton's one of those OGs in the head coaching role, and he doesn't want to give it to him just yet.
Yeah.
I think we're at a point, and this is just a guess, because you may be right.
Yeah.
You know more about this than I do. I think he's going to be the guy. They drafted him to be the guy. They got a taste of what Jarrett Stidham was last year. You brought in Zach Wilson. That tape hasn't been sexy at all in the NFL. And so I think when they get to game number 1, now it's not sweet because you got to go over to Seattle, and that's a tough environment for anybody to go into, let alone a rookie. But I like guys learning on the fly. Like, I don't know how you feel about that. I heard Tom Brady talking about this, and I think he had a bit of a spicy take to where he's okay with guys sitting and he doesn't want to rush people. I'm all in with guys learning the job on the job. Like, that's where I'm at. And so I guess you could roll out Stidham. There's no expectation for them to mess around and win that division anyway. So if he has to take his lumps and take it on the chin a few times, I'm not mad at that. So I think Bo Nix should be their guy week 1.
Okay, I'm with it. I would love to see it, man. I'm all about this rookie quarterback class. Yeah. Excited for him. A lot of talent. I think, 5-10 years, we'll be looking back like, man, that was a loaded quarterback class for sure.
It's interesting, right? Because, history has shown us that it's usually 1, maybe 2 that hit. And these are guys, you got a couple guys, especially in Jaden and Bo Nix that spent a lot of time in college.
Michael Penix,
same thing.
You got older guys.
Right.
And I think that is what we'll start seeing. And I mean, even, just the receiver class too is absolutely bananas for this class.
The receiver, where we're at now with just wide receiver talent across both levels of college and the NFL, I think it's at its peak.
As far as pro readiness.
I think because, and you tell me if I'm wrong, I just think the development of that position is starting so early now.
Yeah.
With what these guys can do from, middle school, junior high, high school, with all these 7-on-7 camps. And
it goes back to there,
all of that development that they're getting early on. And that's why we've seen in the NFL, guys come in and have historic years like a Puka Nacua, or guys come in and be able to be impactful even if it isn't historical, just because I think that process is starting so early and allowing these guys to get into the league and cook right away.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It does go down to the development of elementary and high school has taken another level. implementation of technology.
Yes,
we're all connected. You can see what the pros are doing via social media. You can connect with these trainers, these high-level pro trainers. And it's almost becoming a thing to where, football, basketball are entering the golf, tennis area where recreation and community teams are suffering because of the money that you can put into training. It's almost separating the talent, right? And it's a deeper subject to dive into, but it's like, when you think about it, you can pay for your kid to get better and become more skilled at an earlier age. Yeah. It's crazy.
To your point about, you talk about offensive rookie of the year odds. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that are within that top 10 to 12 of the odds that are receiver. Marvin Harrison Jr., Malik Neighbors, Xavier Worthy, Keon Coleman, A.D. Mitchell, Brian Thomas Jr., Lad McConkey. That's just where the game is at.
Not on there?
Roma Dunze's on there. He's at 40-1 right now. Okay. Roma Dunze might be a little crowded in Chicago for him in year one.
I think he's going to have a big year.
I like him, man.
Yeah, I like him a big year.
And that's why I think JSN can have a big year with the Seahawks this year, because their offensive coordinator is Ryan Grubb, who was Washington's offensive coordinator last year with the Dunze and company.
Absolutely.
I think JSN may be ready to take over that number 2 role for Tyler Lockett. DK is just a freak show.
Yeah.
But we know JSN. He's different.
It's good.
He's absolutely different. We're going to go down to Hotlanta next because Bejon Robinson, the Christian McCaffrey comparisons have been thrown out there this offseason.
That's high.
Is he embracing it? You'll hear it next in Pre-Snap Reads. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
There's nothing Bo Bishop can't do well, except find competent co-hosts. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play, from the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar.
Whether it's a walk-off granny or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 and older, must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
With Tire Discounter's new TD Chat BS, we can detect deception over the phone. Let's call a typical tire store.
Yellow, cheapo tire where we bolt them on for less.
Yes, I need tires and lubricant for my vehicle.
Great, come on in, we'll slap on some new tires.
And what about the lubricant exchange?
Oh yeah, we send you over to Ollie's Oil for that. They're right down the road.
Deception. Destination is 5.2 miles away.
Well, I'll be.
Also, 6 out of 10 cars need alignment.
Well, just travel on over to Alignments or Us.
Calculating. Time for 2 additional trips.
You mean you want to do tires, oil change, and alignment all in one fell swoop?
Oh, I observed that Tire Discounters, the home of free alignment, is close by.
Ugh, Tire Discounters.
And they are experts at oil changes, brakes, shocks, and...
I'm losing you.
Hello? I'm sorry. Your system has crashed.
Don't miss our Savor the Summer sale, now till Labor Day.
Hey, it's Bobby. When it comes to tackling a project as important as your roof, you want a company that cares about the product and experience they're going to deliver. At Newman Roofing, you're more than just a number. They believe in 100% customer satisfaction. And for your roofing needs, give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Bengals game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Bengals watching. Better with Pepsi.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app, or listen at home on your smart speaker, or open up the iHeartRadio app, or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota, and this month 0% financing is backed by popular demand on the 2024 Toyota Tundra for 48 months. But hurry in before they're gone. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com for details. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky with approved credit, tax, title, and $250 doc fee not included. Offer ends August 30th.
Think Toyota. Think Tansky. Think Tansky.
Common Man and T-Bone here. Visit Hollywood Casino Columbus this summer for exciting live sports action. We got the biggest screens around, and ESPN Bet is live in Ohio.
Plus, Penn Play Rewards members can win up to $500 Penn Cash every week. Visit PennPlaySports.com/cover5 today and register for your chance to play and win.
Not a member? Get the Penn Play app today.
Hollywood Casino Columbus is your live sports headquarters.
Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Skies are looking pretty good out there. We've got a lot of sunshine. We're going to be slowly warming things up with highs today hitting the 70s. Columbus topping out at 73 degrees. Tonight, we're once again cooling down back to the 40s and 50s before we see another day of 70 degrees as we head into your Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Madison Reich with your weather impact forecast on The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, Depot, let's knock out some pre-snap reads. Before we do, let me let you know that at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $150 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. We got CB's Guardians. They're in the Boogie Down Bronx tonight taking on Aaron Judge and the Yankees. Aaron Judge is just, he's not real, Depot.
He's not. He's honestly like,
he's wired differently.
He's like A-Rod and Derek Jeter mixed.
Just everything.
It's just crazy.
6'7". Just running around in the outfield like a deer.
Just like he like Jimmy Graham playing baseball.
It's insane. It's insane. Give me an Aaron Judge dinger tonight. He's touching all the pillows. I like the juice on this. Plus 215 for Aaron Judge. Guardians, man, it's getting a little spooky. It's getting a little spooky for the Guardians, Depot, because they've been in control of that AL Central all year long. And you look at the standings today, and both the Twins and the Kansas City Royals with cheese are 2.5 games back in the division. So phenomenal year so far, but the Guardians are going into the Bronx losing 3 games in a row, so they got to get right. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app today, 21 plus only. Must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
So a team I'm starting to get excited about is the Atlanta Falcons.
Oh, my. This dude, man. When it came around to the draft, he was just like, oh, Powerball, man. It's going to be Baker Mayfield in the Bucks.
I didn't like it, but I like it now.
Let's go.
Because I love the offseason that they've put together.
Put a great offseason together.
And a big piece of their success this year will be Bejon Robinson.
Yes.
They have a new offensive coordinator in the building. I believe it's Zach Robinson. I think that's who their offensive coordinator is. He comes over from the Sean McVay tree.
Mm-hmm.
And so, will Bejon Robinson be the best running back in the league? I think it's in play this year. I really do. Will he be able to be the next Christian McCaffrey? I also think that's in play. Before you give your take on it.
No, I love it.
Let's hear from him. He talked to Kay Adams on the Up and Adams show, and they talked a little bit about this comparison.
out there, you're going to run, you're going to catch the ball. The Christian McCaffrey thing has been said. It's been done.
Christian McCaffrey thing, yeah.
What do you make about that?
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't trying to compare nothing, but I was just saying how we're similar, in what we do on the field. Yeah, I mean, with this offense and what Zach's doing, and how I can contribute, I'm ready for whatever he has for me. So it's gonna be a fun ride to do it with them dudes.
You got some prime time. You got all this action. I was talking to your coach about you, and I also heard you on the radio say that you watched every Christian McCaffrey, everything from last year.
Sure did.
But I didn't hear you say what you learned. What did you pick up from watching all that?
Yeah, I mean, when I watch other backs, I'd be trying to emulate what they do. I mean, not mock and copy, but just trying to pick something up.
All the best.
Yeah. And I learned with Christian, obviously the offense that he runs and the offense that he's in, and just how he just hits the hole and his patience, and then even on running option routes and stuff, how he gets open and how he just anticipates what the defender's gonna do. So those little things is what I picked up, but. I mean, I'm trying to do all that in my game too, so other guys can watch how I go about it, and just how he inspires me.
We saw him at Texas be an absolute star. I think he was held back just a little bit last year by Arthur Smith with the way that he liked to run the ship. Give this man all the work he can get, because I think it'll pay off for the Atlanta Falcons. Where are you at on this Bejon Robinson, Christian McCaffrey comparison, and him maybe being, let's say, CMC 2.0?
Bottom line, this is the new running back bar. When you're talking about backs that are getting paid in this league, you got to follow the money. Christian McCaffrey is the highest paid running back in the league, and it's for a reason. That's the evolution of the game, Maddie. We have, I'm not saying that the Josh Jacobs and the Derrick Henrys, those people won't exist, but if you can't Jahmyr Gibbs, Bejon Robinson, Christian McCaffrey, your running back in the pass game, with the RPOs, with the gadget plays, I just think that is where the bar is going to be set for those who shall be paid.
You're absolutely right. Old school, is it fair to call it old school Alvin Kamara? I mean, we haven't seen it in a couple years, but.
Yeah, Alvin Kamara was in that class too.
That's what he brought to the table.
He helped revolutionize the running back position, for sure. For sure. So what we have today.
So I think Bejon Robinson, I think you're talking about
the Darren Sproles of the world.
Man, Darren Sproles was nasty.
But when you think, all right, let's just think about on a timeline mindset. Yeah. Right? You had a guy like Darren Sproles in it. You had the Frank Gores during that time.
Jamal Charles.
You had the Jamal Charleses of the world. Those guys helped bring about Christian McCaffrey's and Bejon Robinson's. And I think that's what NFL execs are wanting to pay. They can get a guy that can run in between the tackles and get 7-8 yards, maybe 3 yards, but not I can't see Derrick Henry on choice routes, bro.
Derrick Henry's probably getting you 25 receptions a year, maybe.
You can see what I'm saying? I'll pay for a Bejon and Christian, Jahmyr Gibbs, Alvin Kamara.
Breece Hall.
Absolutely.
No, but there's only less than a handful of those guys now in the NFL. And we're seeing a lot of teams go to, a couple running backs that can hurt you in a couple different ways. You mentioned Jahmyr Gibbs up in Detroit. Maybe that hammer for them is David Montgomery. He had a lot of touchdowns. They were one of, a few, if not the only running back duo last year to have both running backs go for double-digit touchdowns.
Yep.
And so you're so right about that. I think Bejon is absolutely one of those guys. And their schedule is very interesting early on, Depot, because they get a lot of their NFC South games out of the way early on. Week 1, it's a revenge game for Bejon Robinson going up against Arthur Smith. Then we'll watch them on Monday Night Football take on the Philadelphia Eagles in Philly. Week 3 for them is a home game against Kansas City on Sunday Night Football. And then they roll out New Orleans at home, Tampa at home, Carolina on the road. So you're talking about 3 divisional games, weeks 4 through 6, and 2 massive primetime games against Philadelphia and Kansas City. And so I think their offense is ready to pop.
Yeah.
And I think defensively now, with the 2 new additions that they made with Justin Simmons and Matthew Judon,
development of young players, Grady and AJ Terrell.
A beast.
And so let's hit on how the Falcons have been scrutinized with their draft moves.
Talk about it.
But building your team and your offensive playmakers through the draft, consecutive years, it's an amazing thing to watch. It's an amazing thing when it's successful. And I love how they've been bold enough to go get a running back early. I love how they've been bold enough to go get a tight end, get a Drake,
You also love that they were bold enough to draft Michael Penix Jr. You're in. Did you see your boy? He's not playing in the final preseason game.
He don't need to.
Raheem Morris said, we've seen it now.
He don't need to.
We've seen.
He's going to be sitting right over there with that velvet do-rag. Chilling.
This could be.
He don't need to play.
This could be Green Bay 2.0.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The talent is there.
Yep.
The mental part of the game for him, I think, will get better and better over the next year, maybe two.
Mm-hmm.
And then he may be lighting up that dome in Atlanta for years to come.
Man, I just love the way that the Falcons are trending, and it'll be a good thing, man, in coming years.
Could have another lefty quarterback down in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Vick.
Yep.
To Michael Penix. Mikes.
I'm left-handed, so any basketball players,
it just looks better.
Quarterbacks, pitchers,
Griffey swing,
they see the world the right way.
Phil Mickelson,
love it, Bubba.
Love lefty shooter in the NBA, like Ginobili,
Harden.
Yeah, Harden. That's a better example. Yeah, just lefties it's where it's at. Yeah. I'm jealous. I'm very jealous. We'll transition over to Major League Baseball next. Kyle Glaser, contributing writer for MLB.com, joins the show. It's Rothman and Ice right here on the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Boss on your back? Break away from the office and head on over to Delaware Golf Club. Grab a group, play 18, and afterwards unwind with a drink by the Fire Pit Bar and Patio. Online booking makes it easy to secure your tee time. So come check out Central Ohio's home for premier golf at Delaware Golf Club.
At Baths R Us, we're terrible roofers. We stink at installing siding. And don't ever call us for your kitchen remodel. But if you want a stunning, beautiful bathroom makeover in just 2 or 3 days, now that's when you want to call us. See, unlike most contractors these days, we offer only one service, bathroom remodeling. We don't spread ourselves thin by doing roofing or siding and a bunch of other stuff. Nope. At Baths R Us, we dedicate every company resource into mastering the craft of bath transformations. It's why we're the Midwest's biggest 5-star family-owned bathroom company. And it's why we have the happiest customers. Just check out our Google reviews. Baths R Us. We're terrible roofers, but we're awesome bathroom remodelers. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loan to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
When there's a United Dairy Farmers nearby, special savings are too. Stop by while energy drinks are buy 2, get 1 free. Monster, Celsius, Red Bull, and more for less. Only with UDrive Plus at UDF.
Hey, it's Anthony here for my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. Rich is rolling out all of his new Hondas at 2.9% up to 60 months. Just not including the Civic Si and Civic Type R, but all the other awesome new Hondas, 2.9%. You love certified? He has the dream deal. 0.99% APR for 36 months on the 23s and 24s, Civics, HRVs, CRVs, pilots, and passports. When you think Honda, you have to visit Germain Honda of Dublin, Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
This is the White Castle Call of the Crave, and it's telling you to come in now for 10 cheese sliders for just $7.99. 10 cheese sliders for just $7.99. Boom! White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only, tax not included.
Direct auto insurance is for uncompromisers. Like Matt. When his old car insurance got so expensive, do you think he walked until his sneakers wore out? No, because he found savings with Direct Auto so he could drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25% on state minimum coverage, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote at directauto.com or a store near you. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Jump on board now with the 20-pound Summer Slim Down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Drop 20 pounds before summer ends and cruise into fall with a new routine of better health. Do what I did and find your results with the solution for weight loss at awaken180weightloss.com.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hitting a hole in one into your ear hole. Ew. This is Rothman and Ice.
That it is. Welcome back in. Matty Ice, DeVier Posey, the former Buckeye in the house today. Going to use the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline right now. Bring on Kyle Glaser, contributing writer for MLB.com. Kyle, how you doing?
Doing all right. Glad to be back on with you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much. It's been a while. Good to hear your voice. Let's start in our neck of the woods here. Let's start in the AL Central because I said it earlier, Kyle, it's getting a little spooky for the Cleveland Guardians right now with the Twins and the Kansas City Royals close in their rearview mirror, and now the Guardians have to go into the Bronx to take on Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees. Your thoughts on where the Guardians are right now, and do you think they're going to be able to hold off both Minnesota and Kansas City?
They've got to turn it around right now. If you go back, the Guardians are 21-26 since June 25th. In that same time, the Royals are 27-17, the Twins are 27-19. So while the Twins and Royals have been 2 of the 3 best teams in baseball, the Guardians have been one of the 5 worst in the American League, I should say. And they've got to reverse that trend. We saw them lose 7 straight earlier this month, get that 5-game winning streak, then go back on a 3-game losing streak. Look, the Yankees are scuffling too. These are 2 teams that, frankly, need to be playing desperate baseball right now, but I would argue the Guardians even more so. I mean, the truth is this is a team that got off to a hot start, but for the better part of 2 months now, they've been one of the 5 worst teams in the American League record-wise.
I want to lock in on Aaron Judge because, Kyle, you know how sports works. We become numb to greatness, and it's just kind of one of those – like, yeah, we expect that, and we move on to other things, the young guy or the new team that's doing whatever. But just hit us with your thoughts on what we've been watching from this guy over the last couple of years, because he seems like he's got a flawless game, and he's just absolutely one of these one-of-one stars I think we see, like that generational talent term we hear in sports. To me, he's one of those guys. Just talk about number 99 for the Yankees.
We are talking about a generational power hitter, one of the best power hitters in the modern game. And frankly, you could go back, I would say post-steroid era, you could argue he is the preeminent power hitter with what he's doing. I mean, a 52 home run season as a rookie, breaking the AL record with 62 homers 2 years ago. Even in a season where he missed 50-plus games, he had 37 last year, and now he's, on pace to push 60 again this year. We are watching greatness. Him and Shohei Ohtani are 2 of the most marvelous talents to come through the game in some time. And I really hope people are appreciating them. And not to mention what Aaron Judge has done. He's had his best seasons while moving to center field and playing it pretty well at 6'7", 282 pounds. I mean, he's every bit the freak athlete, the exception to the rule. And all the while, he's a class act of a human being. This is a model for the game and someone people should never get tired of watching.
Okay, Glaser, man, I have a question for you. Well, 2 questions. We'll just get them out the way because Matty is such a baseball lover. Let me get my questions because I know he has more. So I want to ask you, are the Dodgers safe in the NL West? And then my other question is, I just feel like the Blue Jays have a big opportunity to make the postseason. I know it's a long shot, but I think they will make it this year. What do you think?
In terms of the Dodgers, I don't think you can say they're safe. The Padres and Diamondbacks have the 2 best records in baseball since the All-Star break. They're both playing great right now. I will say for the Dodgers, they've been able to tread water while waiting for their guys to get healthy, and now their guys are starting to come back. Last week we saw Mookie Betts come back off the IL, Walker Buehler come back off the IL, Bobby Miller come back off the IL. yesterday, Max Muncy and Tommy Edman came back off the IL. Freddie Freeman's going to play through his finger injury. So we haven't really seen the Dodgers at full strength all year. And now they're starting to get there again. Tyler Glass now had to go on the IL. Yoshinobu Yamamoto's still hurt. But we are starting to see it all come together. So I do think if you're the Dodgers, you're in as good a position as you could be, just given you're still in first place. You survived all those injuries, and now you're getting your guys back. In terms of the Blue Jays, look, this is a team that has teased us all year, right? You look at the names on paper, and you think this is a team that should be in the thick of the AL East race, and at minimum a wild card team. And then they just consistently don't get the job done. I think right now, as much as the Blue Jays have the talent on paper, it's hard to really buy on them just because they've consistently kind of let you down and underperformed relative to expectations.
Kyle Glaser, MLB.com, joining us here on The Fan. Let's talk a little bit about the Cincinnati Reds. They're not going to win the division. The NL wild card picture for them is, they're falling down those standings as well. But the bright spot, for the most part, has been Elly De La Cruz. And for Reds fans, being able to watch him every single night is a fun treat. Your thoughts from a national perspective on Elly De La Cruz and what he's turning into down there in the Natty?
I mean, Elly De La Cruz, you can argue, is the most exciting player in baseball. Not the best. There's a lot of players who are better, but just pure excitement, night in, night out, what he can do, the home runs he can hit, the bases he can steal, the plays he can make defensively. It's really special. I think what's been encouraging is you have to remember last year he came up, took the league by storm, and then the second half was swinging and missing like crazy, hit, well under 200 with a strikeout rate, well over 30%. It was going to be interesting to see how he adjusted coming back this year. And, he's done better. Again, the strikeouts are still higher than you'd like them to be, but he's put together a good season. And I think you're just seeing the continued growth and maturation of a young player. What's great about Elly De La Cruz is he's not anywhere near his full potential yet. He's still going to keep getting better. You have to remember, this kid's 22 and he's still figuring some things out. He's already really, really, really exciting and really, really, really good, and he still has room to get better.
Kyle, we'll get you out of here on this one. The Philadelphia Phillies, they've been knocking on the door the last few years. We know the talent is down there. How are you feeling about Philly? We got, I think, about a month and some change left in the regular season. Then we get to the fun part. But the Phillies this season and your thoughts on their World Series aspirations down there in the land of cheese sticks.
Yeah, look, they've definitely hit a little bit of a lull here and have come back down to earth after their red-hot start to the season. At the same time, you look at this team, and I would argue it's the most talented lineup top to bottom in Major League Baseball. And you look at the top four in their rotation when everyone's healthy, Nola, Wheeler, Suarez, and Christopher Sanchez. That's as good as anyone. You back it up with a bullpen of, Ryan Kickering and Jeff Hoffman, and Matt Strahm, and Sir Anthony Dominguez is looking like he's coming together a little bit. To me, this is the favorite in the National League. Now, again, we have to see what injuries look like. And, again, all it takes is, a slump at the wrong time for things to go sideways. But, on paper and just the experience this team has in the postseason, I do think this is the favorite to come out of the league and represent the NL in the World Series.
It's going to be a fun ride. Looking forward to all of that when we get down to the nitty-gritty. He's Kyle Glaser, does a great job of covering Major League Baseball as a writer for MLB.com. Kyle, thanks so much for your time. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon when we get closer to the playoffs.
My pleasure. Anytime, guys.
Kyle Glaser was on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline Depot. Asked him about Philly. Have you ever had a traditional Philly cheesesteak from Philly?
In Philly.
Did you go, was it Geno's?
Man, I can't remember.
One of the popular spots down there?
So 2017, we won the Grey Cup in Canada, and I had bought a car from Mannheim, PA. And so I was like, you don't got to ship it to me. I'll be in Philly because my dude, Brandon Brooks, he was offensive lineman for the Eagles. And so this is the second round of the playoffs. They're playing the Atlanta Falcons. The catch that Julio didn't make when this is the underdog Eagles team. And so I go to the game. Well, I fly in. I go pick up the car, come back to Philly, fly in, go to the game. It's cold, bro.
Frosty.
Well, I had been cold all day because I was picking up my car, and they dropped me off in the wrong area, Mannheim. And any car dealer knows that, like, anybody who's done any dealing with car, they know how big Mannheim is when you talk about car dealerships. Mm-hmm. It's 5 miles of cars. it's absolutely crazy. And they just dropped me off in the wrong section. So I had been cold all day. I jump in the car. We go back. We make it back right before the pregame. We're in the family section. He hooked it up. My boy hooked it up. We go to the game. Bro, I just remember just being so cold and like the first warm thing that I ate that day was a Philly cheesesteak. Like, that's just like, I don't care where it was from. Yeah. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But it got
the job done.
It hit.
I think in a couple spots down there, they do like the cheese whiz on there. Yeah. And then I think you can go to some spots and they'll do like the provolone slices.
Okay.
And I've never had a Philly cheesesteak from Philly. If I want a Philly cheesesteak, I'm just going to Penn Station,
right,
and doing it that way. Or how I grew up, steakums on the stove. Mama cook up the steakums.
Go to the Eagles game, get a cheesesteak. It's a good event.
It seems like it's electric in there.
Their fans are
one of one.
Whoa.
Yeah.
The Eagles fans are different. You better be a good player in Philly, man.
Or they're going to let you have it.
It's a tough place to play.
Santa Claus.
Man, it's a tough place to play, man.
We'll hit the finish line of the show next with Tell the Truth. It's Rothman and Ice right here on The Fan.
The Big Nine was a sad, incomplete place. Enter Ohio State. The rest is history. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Let's talk about your sleep, specifically if you're not getting enough of it. If you're feeling groggy all day because you didn't sleep well, that is an awful feeling. I've been there. And if you're snoring when you sleep, well, that could be a big reason why you aren't feeling rested. This fact surprised even me the first time I heard it, and that is as you age, your risk of having obstructive sleep apnea nearly doubles. That's right. You need to find out if your snoring is related to sleep apnea, because if it is, there's actually help available for you right now. Dr. Mark Levy is board certified in the treatment of sleep apnea, and he offers a custom-fitted oral appliance that effectively treats sleep apnea. I have been telling you about this for years. And maybe you've been snoring for years. Now's the time to get this fixed. Plus, most Medicare patients have little to no out-of-pocket costs for this treatment. So you need to stop putting it off. Don't ignore your snore. Get your sleep apnea treated by calling Dr. Mark Levy today at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. Get the life back you deserve. Call Dr. Mark Levy today, 1-800-MORE-SLEEP, or visit him online at sleepbettercolumbus.com.
Coming this Labor Day weekend, Bob's biggest challenge yet. It's time to dare to compare. It's got action. It's got suspense. It's got beeps and boops and dings and whomps and more savings than you'll believe on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, mattresses, and more. And best of all, you get to play too this Labor Day weekend. Now open in Reynoldsburg and coming soon to Polaris. See how much you can save this Labor Day weekend when you dare to compare at a Bob's near you.
Hey, it's Anthony Rothman for the Bath Authority. It's time to make your bath and shower something you really love. Something so great, your singing in the shower comes from a genuine place of happiness. Don't keep staring at that outdated bath, the mold, the mildew, the broken tiles. Every unit from the Bath Authority is custom built. You choose the premium accents and accessories. Right now, get free installation on your new bath or shower, plus 36 months of 0% interest. Visit thebathauthority.com. That's thebathauthority.com. A better bath awaits.
If you have an unhealthy obsession with the Blue Jackets, we have just the remedy. Join us Wednesday nights at 7 for the Inside Edge. All the Jackets and hockey conversation you can handle. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
With surgery and drugs being the main options to treat chronic joint pain, that left orthopedic surgeons like Dr. Ray Tessner thinking,
geez, wouldn't it be nice if we can have another form of treatment that eliminates some of the downside and has a bigger upside as we learn more about it?
And then he found it. Regenerative medicine, an exciting, fast-growing approach to dealing with pain using healing agents from your own body.
Well, it's using the miracle benefits of the human body to help encourage healing.
Today, you'll find Dr. Tessner at QC Connect, Kinetics, the nation's leader in regenerative medicine, giving patients lasting relief from joint pain in their knees, hips, shoulders, and back.
It's one of the best management tools that has come around in a long time.
Finally, options other than surgery and steroids. All natural regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics. Learn more. Call today for your free consultation.
Go to QCkinetics.com/Columbus or call 380-208-4544. That's 380-208-4544. 380-208-4544.
Wake up. Breakfast. And Nature Made vitamins. Whatever your morning sounds like, Nature Made fits right in. Whether you're looking for vitamin C or a multivitamin to get key nutrients, we've got you covered. Now that's a good morning. We take care of you so you can take on your day. Start your day with Nature Made, the #1 pharmacist-recommended vitamin and supplement brand. Based on a survey of pharmacists who recommend branded vitamins and supplements.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the Truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks, home of the 29-degree draft beer.
All right, welcome back in. CB's going to take over, I believe, and do Tell the Truth.
That's
CB,
right.
That's right. You already said that's right. We haven't heard hardly anything from CB. I didn't know.
Is he even here today?
Cole's been holding it down today, but now CB wants to take over. Tomorrow, Cole, you're doing Tell the Truth, okay? You're doing Tell the Truth tomorrow.
Hey, he's got flower arrangements to plan for his wedding.
CB's busy. He's mid wedding planning mode.
Got the Amazon window open over here. No, I'm just
By
joking.
the way, since we're talking about love and love being in the air, congratulations to Chops and his wife J-Lo on the announcement of those wonderful people having a baby on the way.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome. Congrats to our guy Chops and J-Lo. You know, Jenny from the block. She is from New York, so she can say that.
Absolutely.
She can say that. Congrats to them. All right, CB, what do you got?
All right. We've mentioned it. The QR codes for Oklahoma State, they're going to put them on the back of their helmet. It's going to go towards the general NIL fund for the university, for the program. My question to you is this, just thinking down the road, do you think there's a chance that this could turn into not exactly like the fan-controlled football league that Johnny Manziel played in, but like a situation where maybe fans can purchase the rights to call the first play of a game or something like that?
Oh, man, I don't think so.
No. It can't happen, and here's why. There was a situation where it was an auction, and somebody won. They bidded on the ability to call the first play. They couldn't do it because of bettings and futures, like runs and passes. So I don't think that will ever happen because betting is intertwined too much into the game.
That's a good call.
You know?
That makes a lot of sense. Real quick, since CB brought that up, AR brought this up a couple weeks ago about, since we're talking about all these different NIL possibilities.
Yeah.
Do you think that they will ever allow a fan to pay their way into dotting the I?
Oh, man.
Or is that an untouchable tradition?
I think that's untouchable, man. I mean, it's crazy that Archie is even getting to dot the I, because with the band, there's this like level of hierarchy. Like there's traditions you got to go through. There's milestones to reach to be able to dot the I. Mm-hmm. And the fact that the only football player to ever do it is the two-time Heisman.
2 times, Mr. Two-time.
I would love to see that invoice, like how much that person paid.
Don't put it past Buckeye Nation. There's some deep pockets out here. Somebody would throw out, a lot of money. I hope it stays within the family. I mean, the band and the one of ones like Archie, who literally is a folklorist figure in college football history, is the only guy to, win 2 Heisman. So, and by the way, congrats to Archie. He's getting another statue, outside of the
statue here at the shoe.
Why did that take so long? That's where my mind is. That why, that's I don't know. But congrats to Archie. Yep. That's amazing. But yeah, the CB, to answer your question, I think Depot laid it out really well. Because of betting, that can get a little funky. So I don't think we see that, but we're seeing a lot of crazy stuff. So it's a lot of things in play right now, that's for sure.
Why you always lying?
All right, next up, it's National Radio Day. My question to you is, tell the truth. What is your reason for getting into the profession?
Wow. For me, I just was just a sports nut growing up. Yeah. And any reason why I could get into, like doing a project in school and somehow running it back to sports I was going to do. I just remember growing up and just literally watching SportsCenter on a loop. Just on a loop. Stuart Scott, Scott Van Pelt, all those guys. And then throughout junior high, high school, watching, Dan Patrick and Colin Cowherd. And I can remember getting out of, class in high school and, and baseball practice and football practice and turning on the fan and just driving around just so I could hear more radio segments. So I've always wanted to do it just because at the end of the day, I love sports, but it also fits my personality. When I went to school, to really figure out what I wanted to do, the TV stuff just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Like radio's got a little bit more of a laid-back vibe to it, and so it just fits my personality. But I knew I always wanted to be in sports, and then growing up in a town to where we had the Fan being such a good radio station, for me to be now a part of that is something I don't take for granted. So there's a little bit of why I got into it.
Absolutely. Well, CB, believe it or not, unlike Cardell, I did go to school for school. And the thing that I studied was communications, and I took classes where it was for TV, it was for radio, doing different projects. Obviously, public speaking was a big part of it. I always had a plan to play as long as I could and then get into media in some way. And then what always hit me with radio was I would grow up listening to, like, the Ricky Smileys, the Tom Joyner. My mom listened to Tom Joyner every morning. My grandma was a Dave Ramsey listener on the radio, listening to sports talk radio all the time. Obviously, just playing into your daily life, not even knowing. And so the thing I do love about radio is if you get me talking about sports, I have a Rolodex and I come up with ideas and I can talk sports for 3 hours just like I did today. Now the Fan has allowed me an opportunity to do it for money. I'm in. I'm in. So that's why I do it.
You don't want the truth. You make up your own truth.
All right, my final question for you today is this. The NFL kickoff rules punishes you for kicking a touchback that takes the ball out to the 30-yard line instead of the 20 and the 25 of years past. It also sounds like there could be in future years moving this touchback line to the 35-yard line for the offense. My question, though, is tell the truth. Do you like that the NFL is punishing touchbacks and forcing teams to return the ball and try to kick for returns?
Yeah, I want action.
You want that action, boss?
I want that action, boss. So I'm in on that.
Yeah, I think it actually, I love what it does to the start of the offensive drive. I love where teams can play. I love that special teams is coming back into the game. Can't wait to see the next great talent crack the code on how to return these things. I can't wait to see the special teams coach come up with the innovative ideas for this because it's a different play and it's new. And I love this and the way it's going.
And the truth shall set you free.
If you missed anything from our show, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Nice. Everything we do from noon to 3, we'll be waiting for you. Subscribe to the Rothman and the Nice podcast as well. Don't go anywhere. Common Man and T-Bone up next. Timmy Hall in the house. Bodie in for Ted. And then they're going to talk about the Laine trade. Big-time stuff coming from the Jackets yesterday. Depot, we'll do it again tomorrow at high noon. Cole, CB, great job on the board. Folks, thanks so much for your time. We're Rothman and Nice right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is a Fan action update.
Big Ten action update. The Wisconsin Badgers have the 9th best odds to win the Big Ten this year at 85-1. The Badgers' season win total is at 6.5 games. They finished 7-6 last year. Wisconsin's non-conference schedule includes games against Western Michigan, South Dakota, and Alabama in Week 3. Wisconsin's currently a 9.5-point underdog in that home game versus Bama. For your action update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
Experience a piece of history this September and pay tribute to those that have served in the Vietnam War. Delaware County Veterans Services invites you to visit the Wall That Heals from September 12th through the 15th at Havener Park in Liberty Township. Witness the official 3/4 scale replica of the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C. The Wall That Heals is free and open to the public 24 hours a day until 2 p.m. on the 15th. For volunteering opportunities and to learn more, please visit thewallthathealsohio.com.
Hey guys, Chaps here with a new opportunity for you. The 20-pound summer slim down with Awaken 180 weight loss. Dropping 20 pounds before summer ends. Cruising to your goal of 30, 40, 50 plus pounds down. It's simple. You take the last few weeks of summer, eating, drinking, enjoying the weather. But the difference? You're doing it with the 20-pound summer slim down. But Chopper, summer's almost over. That's the point, guys. The pounds melt off fast with Awaken 180. I dropped my first 20 in less time, and that easy 20 propelled me to reach my goal of losing 60 pounds. Then that propelled me to lose another 35. Think about it. You're about to slide back into the same old fall routine with the same old mindset. Mix it up. Live up the rest of your summer while dropping your first 20, then jump into fall with a whole new groove. Yeah, I said groove. You'll be saying it too just a few weeks from now. 20 pounds summer slim down with the solution for weight loss online at awaken180weightloss.com. That's awaken180weightloss.com.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now. Bengals game day is so close, you can almost taste it. Bengals watching. Better with Pepsi.
Kemba Financial Credit Union pays you to save. Get a $300 bonus with a new money market account and earn a premium interest rate on your money. It adds up to big-time savings for your goals and dreams. Visit Kemba.org to check our rates and learn more. Restrictions apply. Bonus requires Advantage status and $10,000 minimum balance be deposited in the first 30 days and maintained to qualify for a $100 bonus at 90 days and $200 at 180 days after opening. Federally insured by NCUA. Offer ends September 30th.
Hey, it's Bobby. When it comes to tackling a project as important as your roof, you want a company that cares about the product and experience they're going to deliver. At Newman Roofing, you're more than just a number. They believe in 100% customer satisfaction. And for your roofing needs, give them a call at 614-NEW-ROOF or newmanroofing.com.
It's Toyota's national sales event with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including Toyota's lineup of go-anywhere, do-anything trucks, like the powerful new Tundra. Now through September 3rd, you can get a new Tundra with low-rate financing, special leases, or customer cash up to $2,000, depending on model. And the 2024 Tacoma is now arriving at your Toyota dealer with dominating power, legendary capability, and captivating style. Get details at Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.